So you probably didn't love the way the game ended last night. At least that would be my guess. And for good reason. That's a sweep in New York. That stinks. Found like 3 pretty different ways to lose, right? The blowout, kept trying to come back but couldn't get it done. And then ultimately, just a skull crusher, heartbreaker. Can't believe it. Up 5-0, no hitter going into the 8th, and find a way to lose that game. It's brutal.
Well, especially because day before you said that that wasn't
I know
playing to their strength. Yesterday was playing to their strength, and they still
found a way. So all right, so a couple of things on this. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to try. I don't know whether I need some of the. I'm not going to respond to some of the texts that were, maybe a little over the top that we got last night. Rich, who didn't win the tickets, now says he's glad he didn't win the tickets because of how that game went. I feel like that's going a little too far. I don't. Maybe I have a different perspective on that game. Younger folks, Lyle's age, et cetera, you won't understand this. Older people will. I watched that game for the first 26 years of my life over and over and over again. That game was my life. It really was. As a child, as a teenager, as a guy in my early 20s, that was my life. Every time the Red Sox played the Yankees, they played that game. Every time. Somehow. I know it doesn't sound possible, but they did. They would find the most creative, obnoxious, gut-wrenching, painful, awful ways to lose games, and it would happen every time. The only thing that made it different from all of the games that I saw in my childhood was that there's now replay, but as a kid, he would have been actually out on the final play, but the Yankee Stadium umpires would have called him safe, and that would have been the end. As it turns out, it was a good call. It was a good slide. It was a good everything, and just sort of a tough beat the way it all went down. But I've watched that game my whole life. I guess the positive is, when you say, well, good teams don't lose that game, they do. They do every year. Remember the game? Lyle will remember this one. I know he won't be able to go back to the pre-2004 days, but he should be able to remember the year that the Mariners went to the playoffs just a couple of years ago. You remember the game they lost in Kansas City 2-3 weeks before the season ended? And it was the same thing. You can't possibly lose that game and then expect to be, well, yeah, it was just one game. They shook it off. They found a way to come back. And, look, if you bounce back and win 2 out of 3 in Detroit and you end up on a 2-4 road trip, it stinks. But at the end of the day, you'll say, all right, I feel pretty good. So I'm not going to sit here and panic button all that. But it's a rough one. And there's some real, I thought there were a couple of managerial decisions once again in game that were, they were questionable. They led to the loss. I think once Brian Wu gave up a hit, you got to be out of the game. He's up near 100 pitches. You don't need to keep going with Wu once he's given. The only reason he's still in the game
you let him go back out there, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I got no problems with him going out for the 8th. But once he's given up the hit, you got to have somebody ready to go.
Agreed.
Brash should have been in ready to go. Now, as it happens, Brash gives up the home run. I'm not going to sit here and say everything would have been different, but maybe it would have. I also, I don't know how you end up in a situation pitching to Aaron Judge in the 10th. I mean, you've got to be able to work your inning. And I'm sorry if Gabe Spire has to pitch to a righty, but letting him pitch to a righty is better than letting him pitch to Aaron Judge. So I got to imagine with the bases loaded, that's the nightmare scenario. So a couple of decisions that didn't help. And then, of course, you've got the fact that there was clearly the Yankees had figured out Andres Munoz, and he was tipping his slider. It is very rare that I notice anything like that, and I don't know what he was doing to tip. I'm not crazy. I mean, I'm not like that level of anything. I don't have those kind of eagle eyes. But you could see the runner on second base making wild motions with his hands and arms. Couldn't you see that? You could see him just at the edge of the screen. It was like he was what would you call that? Like the Teen Wolf dance or something. Like every time he was raising his arms like he was doing a Teen Wolf or something.
Well, and by the way, I know Cal talked about it after the game, but also I saw a Yankees athletic writer say that Yankees players confirmed.
Oh, I mean, it was clear as day that they were giving some sort of a sign when he was throwing a slider. This is what Cal said afterwards. Oh, hold on. I need my computer up.
Yeah, he was tipping it every time on second base. So, yeah, obviously they weren't making it very discreet, I guess is the word. So, but it is part of the game, and it's our job that we had to have better, know about that going into series, and yeah, I mean, that made it really hard there at the end. So,
I mean, if anything, look at it as good news. They let you know that Andres Munoz has a problem rather than doing it a little bit more subtly, which might have, allowed this to go on a little bit longer and other teams could have figured it out. Now he has the opportunity to fix whatever the problem is in terms of tipping his pitches. But yeah, I mean, you know what? I don't think there are going to be too many games this year where Brash, Munoz, and Spire all give up runs. And if that happens every now and again, so be it. It's an awful time for it. It's a bad look. The way the game was going, the way the series is going, all of that stinks. And heading into the All-Star break and, trying to really show who you are against these good teams, Yankees and Tigers, it's a brutal look. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that. But in terms of outlook for the future, again, every time you want to give up on this team, they bounce back. Every time you think they look like they're good, they find a way to look bad. I mean, we'll see what happens tonight and tomorrow and the next day. And after the weekend series, we'll have a little bit clearer view. But we'll be talking about it throughout the day. I got some Adam Jude to play for you guys. G. Scott's in today. Actually, who's going to join us is Joe Girardi, 4-time World Series champ. 3 as a player, 1 as a manager, and he was at the series for Yes Network, so he will join us coming up at 7:30 this morning. We're a couple of weeks away from the Boeing Classic, which will be, of course, it's the club. It's Snoqualmie and Snoqualmie Ridge. And I want to preview that a little bit with the former champion, 2021 champion, Rod Pampling. So we'll give you guys just a taste of this interview, just a couple of minutes, 2 minutes or so, and then the rest of it will be available at seattlesports.com or on the Seattle Sports app. But if you're a golf fan and you're getting ready for the Boeing, here's just a couple-minute teaser with Rod Pampling. All right, Boeing Classic coming up real soon here, August 4th through the 10th. The actual play will be the 8th through the 10th. And, the Boeing Classic, co-founded by Virginia Mason, Franciscan Health, and the Seattle Seahawks. The 2021 winner of the tournament, Rod Pampling, taking a few minutes with us. Good morning, Rod. Thanks for jumping on.
Good morning.
All right.
Happy to do it.
Well, obviously you have some good memories of this place. When you think of playing the club at Snoqualmie, and I've played it a few times, not as well as you have, what jumps out to you about this golf course?
It's just the whole golf course. It makes you use every club in the bag. And then, to boot, you've got the views, which are incredible. It really is one of the prettiest courses we play all year round. So, while you're focusing, you got to really work hard. But then when you're out of that, you get to look around and just look at the beautiful scenery.
Well, and obviously 14 has one of the great views and one of the great holes. Most of us hacks like to try to drive it all the way to the green and come up short every time. Will you be driving the green on 14, or do you lay up? What's the plan?
No, if I go Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe Thursday, I'll have a go at it.
Mm-hmm.
But then once the competition starts, no. Competition, I have not had a go at it during any competition round. It's when we first got there, my caddy, who was working at the time, he said that one guy did these stats, and he said that the best scoring average for this hole is when you hit it just to the right of that first bunker, you hit about 240, 250 down the hill, and then you wedge it in. So it worked the first year, so I've just we've stuck with it that way. Yeah. So no chance of going for it once the gun goes on Friday.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's just a couple of minutes there with Rod Pampling. But if you are interested and excited about the Bowen Classic, please find the rest of that. He was fun. We ended up talking about Australian golfers and talking about getting out of the bunkers, and there's tons of them, obviously, at the Ridge, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. He has some good Freddie Couples stories. So if you got a few minutes, go check that out. It's up at seattlesports.com. We'll be right back with everything you need to know. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
He's the southpaw from down under, Ryan Roland Smith with Wyman and Bob.
What was your reaction to Julio making the All-Star squad?
Julio going to the All-Star game is nothing but great. It's good for his confidence. I would say J.P. Crawford had a bigger case at shortstop than Julio did at center field to make the All-Star game. When you have a leadoff hitter with the on-base that he has, I thought J.P. had a bigger case.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Bowen Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Bowen Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BowingClassic.com for more.
The perfect night out this summer is under the stars at the drive-in movies. Enjoy classic films, cool cars, and unforgettable memories, all from the comfort of your own ride at the LeMay America's Car Museum Movie Nights. Bring the kids, pack snacks, and tune in for fun. The next showing is Transformers on July 27th. LeMay Drive-In Movies, where the big screen meets the open road. Space is limited, so reserve now at americascarmuseum.org.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we don't just promise to get the job done, we back it up. No travel charge, no show-up fee, no overinflated pricing, and no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional each and every day. O'Neill Plumbing.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ed, who suffered a neck injury in a highway pileup.
Had a bulge disc in my neck. It was pinching my spinal cord, so reached out to Rob. It was amazing. Their whole team were honest and kept me informed, like they were actually interested in helping me, not just a number. I'm very pleased with the outcome. I would definitely choose these guys again any time of the week.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Seattle Children's is leading the fight against pediatric cancer with groundbreaking research in immunotherapy. It reprograms a child's own T cells to hunt down and destroy cancer. It's hope, powered by science. But here's the truth. Pediatric cancer research is drastically underfunded. That's why Safeway is stepping up, and you can too. G. Scott here asking you to say yes to donating to ImmunoHeroes next time you're at Safeway checkout. Together, we can help fight cancer for all kidkind.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us.
We get notifications every time we get a review. And I said, how do you not let it eat you up? Sometimes I feel so responsible. And his answer was, I just look at it as an opportunity. We need that feedback to learn and to do better. I'm grateful for the feedback.
Big part of sales is the relationship aspect. People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and just the experience is better on both sides.
It's not about closing deals. It's about opening relationships, helping people make the right choice. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Brutal loss. Games at Yankee Stadium, well, they're just not over until they're actually over. And last night was about as good an example as you're ever going to get. Brian Wu, phenomenal. 7 no-hit innings, virtually untouchable. Couple of base runners, though, turn into runs in the 8th. 5-0 game, turns into a 5-3 game in the 9th. Quiet top of the 10th. Oh, my gosh. The next thing you know, Gabe Spire gets a little gift of a pop-up bunt, but an intentional walk, and then one more by accident. It set the scene for this guy to do damage.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on, lifted center field. Julio in. It's not that deep. Julio makes the catch. Here's Volpe tagging. The throw home. It's on the money. The tag applied. He is safe. He is safe. And the Yankees win on a sac fly from Aaron Judge.
Man, short fly ball. He did not get a lot on that. Julio with a good throw. The only criticism maybe you could make on that play, did Julio mistime the way he caught, and did he have to take almost a little extra hop? I would be nitpicking. It's a pretty good throw. Volpe, give him some credit. He ran hard and had a really good slide around it. But this game obviously was over well before then, and mistakes made in the bullpen, mistakes made, I think, in the managerial seat in terms of how you decide to play it in the 10th, and in terms of when you bring Brash in the 8th. It's a gut punch, man, and it leads to the series sweep in New York. Nobody needs that. Dan Wilson on the clubhouse environment afterwards.
It's quiet. It's quiet. It's like I said. It's just a tough way to lose. It's tough to lose there and get walked off here in this ballpark, and we got to regroup, which we do, and we got to come out tomorrow and ready to go in Detroit.
That is sort of the one thing you could say about this team. They have found ways to regroup before. Certainly after the last sweep they had in Arizona, they regrouped and played some pretty good ball after that. Better get it done because going to Detroit and facing Skubal tonight is no easy task. So find a way. Offensively, multi-hit night for Canzone and for Cole Young. Big home run for Jorge Polanco. And just an incredible start for Brian Wu. I mean, unfortunately, that gets kind of lost here. He was amazing after the first inning, just dazzled that very good Yankee lineup, but yeah, just not enough. Red Sox win, so the Mariners fall a game out in the wild card. Houston inactive, so the deficit back to 7 games now in the West.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
The next pitch for Brian Wu will be in the All-Star game. He's gone the entire season without leaving a game before the sixth inning. Just an incredible run for him as he started the year as the fifth pitcher on this team, but really been the most dependable, the most dominant so far over the course of the season. Be pretty cool to see him throw to Cal. I don't think it'll happen, right? He'd have to get in pretty early in that game, but yeah, it'd be pretty cool to see. Cal, meanwhile, now knows who his competition is for the Derby. It's going to be Buxton, Caminero, Acuna, Chisholm, Rooker, Cruz, and James Wood, who hit about a 455-foot blast last night. I haven't heard a lot of talk about him as the favorite, but that's a guy that I would watch out for in this home run derby. Get James Wood hot, and geez, I don't know what happens at that point. Also, this weekend, MLB draft will be Sunday. Lyle's got his final draft profile at 9 o'clock. Andy McKay was on with Bump and Stacy yesterday and spoke about having this number 3 pick and what they could do with it.
Historically, the players that you're getting at the top end of the draft they can be really impactful to your organization in different ways. And so we're thrilled about it, but at the same time, I realized where we drafted Cal Raleigh. I realized where we drafted Logan and George and where we got Brian Wu from or Bryce Miller. And they're good players all over the draft, and you just have to attack every pick like it is the third pick in the draft because there's value everywhere and there's some great players. And our third pick, Cal Raleigh, is arguably going to be an MVP this year. He's certainly in the conversation, and you always have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but you get a gift of the number 3 overall pick. Be pretty nice to see them turn it into somebody who could be a big part of this organization's future.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
ESPN ranking tight ends today, and this one's not as good for the Seahawks, unfortunately. None in the top 10, none of the 7 honorable mentions, none of the 5 more that received votes, so that makes none in the top 22. Probably shows why they drafted tight ends, right, in each of the last 2 seasons, including a second-rounder in Elijah Arroyo. You may remember Todd McShay said Seahawks had to be pretty happy about him.
Elijah Arroyo. They had to be, like, doing somersaults. Yeah. When Ferguson goes before Arroyo. Yeah. If Arroyo can stay healthy, and I get it that it's a bigger if than with other prospects because he had the injury, but it was one injury that lingered. And this past year, he was pretty damn good in the Senior Bowl. He was awesome.
Yeah, so they love him. He was a big, big favorite of a lot of the draft guys, so hopefully you'll see him in this list soon. By the way, the NFC West, pretty well represented at the top. George Kittle, number 2 in San Francisco, and Trey McBride was number 4 in Arizona. Whew, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here in the Brock and Salk Show. Not surprised, we got some grumpy texters today. Should make for a very interesting open phone line segment at 9:30, and understandable frustration. I'm not going to tell you not to be frustrated. I'm frustrated. How could you not be? I won't go to the end of the season stuff. The last time I felt like this season teetered was after the sweep in Arizona, and after that they played probably, if not their best ball of the year, pretty close. I don't know if that's going to happen again. That got, you got to play some teams in there that were not the greatest. Cleveland, Minnesota, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, right? Like those teams are probably heading in the wrong direction versus what you have coming up. Detroit, Houston, Milwaukee, right? It's a little bit different group. So you got to find a way. And we'll find out, right, in these next 3 weeks before the trade deadline, because nobody's making any trades yet. We'll find out whether or not there is a path to adding. But I'll say this, and this is not a great one, unfortunately. The Baltimore Orioles, guaranteed sellers, right, are closer right now in the wild card than the Mariners are to the AL West. You let that sink in for a moment. Astros, 7-game lead in the West. Red Sox have a 6.5-game lead over the Orioles, with a whole bunch of teams in between, obviously. But if you're saying the Orioles are guaranteed sellers, what are the Mariners? I'm not saying the Mariners are going to sell. I mean, they're a game out of the wild card right now. But that West is slipping away very rapidly. All right, let's come back here with Adam Jude, who's got a lot of thoughts on how difficult this trade deadline could be. We got Joe Girardi going to join us a little bit later. Phone calls at 9:30. Brock and Salk, CL Sports on 710.
Tuesday, the All-Star Fantastic Four.
Holy smokes!
Andres, Brian, Julio, and Cal.
Number 34 for the Big
the Mariners All-Stars in the 2025 All-Star Game. Tuesday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Listening to Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. This hour is brought to you by Fred Meyer Pharmacy, with a special message for Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense plan members. Your neighborhood Fred Meyer Pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at fredmeyer.com/pay or update. See your Fred Meyer Pharmacy for details.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, going on right now through July 20th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's the garage here for my friends at Premier Golf. Take advantage of early sunrise and late sunset at the 11 different Premier courses today. From Bellingham, Everett, and Marysville to Linwood, Bellevue, and Seattle, even out on the coast, they've got a course near you. Play Inner Bay or Jackson, Bill Wright or West Seattle, Bellevue, Legion Memorial, Walter Hall, Linwood, Cedar Crest, Lake Patton, and even Ocean Shores. Courses are in great shape and ready for your next round. Visit PremierGolfCenters.com. That's PremierGolfCenters.com and book your tee time today.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
You're free now. Free to stream beyond your wildest dreams.
Rom-coms, slasher-coms, space operas.
Free to fill your feed with impossibly chunky chunkers.
Cats, corgis, babies on demand.
Free to make your smart devices do silly things.
Bowl of chips on the Robo-Vacuum.
Free to open a world of remote work and Gametopia.
Who's the boss now?
Free to be everything you imagine. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber Internet. Your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com.
Limited availability, service in select locations only.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Adam Jude going to be with us here in just a moment or two. So we'll chat with him and figure out what's going on with the trade deadline and the draft and a whole bunch of other stuff with him. I should point out, Brock, an hour from now, we are going to have some fun with Cal Raleigh home run calls.
Oh, that's
right. We've heard how many Cal home runs this year, 36 of them, right? And you get a call on TV and a call on the radio, so at least two for every one of those 36 home runs, right? So 72 home run calls that Mariners have had so far this year for Cal. But you guys get a chance to give your best Cal home run call, and we'll take the winner and give you some tickets. So that's coming up at 9:30 this morning. I'll play you the Julio ones in a little while just to remind you what that was like. But that's at 9:30 today.
We got a prize, correct?
Yeah, I just said we got tickets to give away.
Whew,
yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's talk to Adam Jude. Before then, we won't make him give his best Cal home run call because he's gotten to see a whole bunch of them so far this year. Good morning, Adam. How we doing?
Morning, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. No, we want to have you. We're 3 weeks today from the trade deadline, and so we'll probably get there in a moment. Kind of start with what you're seeing on the road trip. It is, looks very different from what we saw at home last week. What do you make of some of the, I guess I'll just call it inconsistency, ups and downs from this team this year?
Yeah, obviously the home road splits are always going to be pretty funky with this offense in particular. You look at Julio, he's example 1A of a guy who really seems to do well on the road and struggles at home. And you could probably go up and down the lineup outside of Cal Raleigh. But yeah, with this team, they're just so streaky offensively too. I feel like we're going to have these wild swings with this team this year. That's what we've seen. And we just haven't seen all facets of this team, right? We haven't seen the pitching come together at the same time as the hitting. When the hitting is up, the pitching is down. When the pitching finally gets right last week, the offense was just scraping by a little bit. So obviously they need everything clicking if they're going to stay in this wild card race. I'm not sure it's realistic to really inch back in this AL West, frankly, with what Houston's been able to do. But yeah, we're finally starting to see the vintage George Kirby coming back. And I think the next step really for this team, the biggest key for me is kind of getting Logan Gilbert back to being the guy we saw the past couple of years. Obviously, the injury hiccup was a big reason for that, but he had a great 4 innings the other night at Yankee Stadium. Then that rain delay, who knows what would have happened if not for that. But again, to me, as much as people want to talk about Julio, I look at Logan Gilbert being the workhorse, being the ace of this staff the past couple of years, and kind of looking at him getting right and really leading this thing and getting this rotation back on its feet.
Adam, I think it was the first month of the season, Salky talked about not just the home road kind of differences and splits for the offense, but what about for the pitching dynamic as well? The difference between pitching in the home confines and some of these road trips and going out, and especially against this lineup and in this bandbox. How about the challenge of pitching away from home as well?
I mean, we've seen it the last two nights. It's a perfect example. Again, you could kind of use the rain delay as an excuse, but still, giving up all those runs, 9 runs last night, and yeah, it's your number 5 starter and Logan Evans, but a pitch here, a pitch there makes all the difference, as you said, against a good Yankees lineup. But this team is built on run prevention. That's what they are, a run prevention operation. That's where they spent the bulk of their money over the last 5 years or so. They expect to have a good defense every year. That's a big reason why we're seeing a rookie in Ben Williamson getting as long of a runway as he has. And yes, he's been really good defensively, so that's why he's holding down that spot. But not many teams would sacrifice as much slug, as much offense as they are to have a defensive player at third base at that position in particular. But this is who they are. They're a run prevention unit. And when they're on the road, no matter where they are, Yankee Stadium, Fenway, wherever it is, they cannot give up, obviously, 9, 10, 11 runs every night and expect to compete. They're just not built that way. So they kind of have to get back to their identity, something Dan Wilson loves to talk about, just their core roots of who they are. And that's going out and pitching and shutting down teams and then turning it over to the back end of a bullpen, which, frankly, is about as good as anyone in baseball. So to me, it's getting that pitching staff healthy, getting back to who they are, preventing runs more than they are just about going out and out slugging teams.
Yeah, I was talking about that bullpen early this morning because, we got a bunch of texts late at night during the game. This team stinks. They're awful, this and that. And some of that is just obviously the emotional frustration of watching a baseball game. But when they don't get to use that bullpen, right, when they don't get to go to Brash and Munoz and Spire, it's taken one of the great weapons out of their arsenal. And so they don't look like necessarily a great team when they don't have the opportunity to use one of the things that makes them at the very least a good team.
Yeah, we saw it last night too. It was a little surprising to me. I think we saw a little bit of a shift. We saw Dan Wilson sort of show his cards a little bit and went to Carlos Vargas there in the 5th inning. I don't know if we've seen him that early this season. Carlos Vargas, no, he's not Matt Brash. He's not Andres Munoz, but he's been a bit of a revelation out of the bullpen this year. He's been really, really good for them and provide a lot of stability. So for Dan to go to Carlos Vargas there in the 5th inning when they were down still a couple runs, it showed me just how important that game was for them last night, knowing that they still wanted to stay competitive in that series. He had Gabe Spire up. I think he would have gone to Brash next if they were able to kind of keep it within a couple runs there. Of course, Julio misplays that line drive in center field, and kind of that inning gets away from them, and they have to pivot there. But again, that's the whole thing lines up. We've seen that on the last road trip. We saw it in the last homestand that when things are lined up and they have their guys, they're able to go to Vargas, Brash, Spire, Munoz. They are a really, really hard team to beat, and they're able to hold on to those 1-run leads really regularly. And again, that's just how they're built. They're not built to go out and win 6-5 games. We're so accustomed to seeing this team over the past few years win those 2-1, 3-2, 4-3 games, and that's what they're going to have to get back to because that's just how they're constructed. That's who they are.
Adam, I know you wrote a great piece, last week or so, and a bunch of the trade candidates, and we'll get to that here in a second. But is it your understanding that really it's all hands on deck with the draft this Sunday? Like, you don't anticipate anything happening really on the trade front before this draft?
Correct. I'd be stunned if anything happened just because it's not just the Mariners. I mean, the whole industry has kind of gone into hibernation here leading up to the draft. And this is such an unpredictable draft, too. So I think it's made it even more challenging, particularly for teams drafting in the top 10 like the Mariners there at number 3. No one's quite sure what's going on. It's really funny checking in with folks around the industry. Like, some people think they have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen 1 through 5. Some people are just throwing up like, no one knows what's going to happen here. And so you almost have to chuckle because the Mariners finally get a top 3 pick the first time in forever since Zunino, I think. And now there's not even a clear superstar. There's not an obvious 1, 2, 3 there. And so who knows? The MLB draft is obviously so unpredictable anyway, but it just feels like this time around it's even more so. So everyone's kind of into hibernation, and they'll probably pick their head up again after the All-Star break next week, really dive into the MLB trade deadline. There just aren't any trades to make right now anyway, even if the draft wasn't there. There are just too many teams still within reach of a playoff spot. Again, we circle back to the Arizona Diamondbacks. more than anyone, they're kind of still hanging on by a thread. They still want to stay in it. Everyone's kind of looking at them and the Orioles and a few other teams to finally kind of acquiesce and say, okay, we're going to be sellers here.
Talking to Adam Jude, the Seattle Times, who I've mentioned a bunch of times, just doing a phenomenal job on that beat. Everyone should have someone near them go take a sabbatical and give you the opportunity to just be like the primary guy. It's just working out gangbusters for Adam, who's been awesome on the beat this year. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see him. He's on video with us this morning as well. You mentioned the Diamondbacks. Gets me thinking, man, that sweep in Arizona. If you turn just those 3 games around, what a totally different season this is. And all of a sudden they're 7 games, 8 games out in the wild card, and they're definitely selling, and you really have an opportunity to do something. What do you think it takes? I mean, they got 2 guys that fit, one on each corner of this infield. What do you think it takes to get both guys from Arizona?
Yeah, it's not going to be cheap, of course. And I would say even they've got all 3 things you really need right now: first base, third base, and, a 7th, 8th inning relief guy too, and probably Shelby Miller or one other piece too. I think ideally the Mariners would love to repeat what they did last year, go out and get 3 pieces, an impact bat for the middle of the lineup like Randy Arozarena, some sort of supplemental bat like Justin Turner, and then a 7th, 8th inning leverage arm too, like they had in Jimmy Garcia last year. The Mariners would love to do that. Again, I don't think that's realistic given this market and given that there are so few sellers out there. But I do keep circling back to Josh Naylor at first base there. He's just such a perfect fit for what the Mariners need right now. Again, you step back and go, well, what's it going to cost if the Diamondbacks eventually get there and are one of the few sellers and Josh Naylor is one of the few bats available? The asking price is going to be really high. Are you really willing to give up a top 10 prospect for 2 months of Josh Naylor? He's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. So is Gino Suarez. Yes, the Mariners have a big trade chip in Harry Ford. They don't have an obvious spot for him. It might be what it takes to even get 2 months of Josh Naylor. I think I would do that, but at the end of the day, can you really give up 6 years of club control for a Harry Ford, a guy who looks like he can probably be a regular catcher in this league with really intriguing offensive upside for 2 months of a Josh Naylor? If you can guarantee yourself that'll get you in the playoffs, sure, it makes sense to me. But at the end of the day, that's why Jerry Dipoto, that's why Justin Hollander get the big paychecks and they make the tough decisions, because it's not going to be an easy one. I feel like it is going to be a painful trade deadline for the Mariners one way or the other. Either they're going to be disappointed they didn't get the bat, or they're going to be disappointed in how much they had to give up to go get 2 months of a rental player.
It's funny. I would say the easy answer to that question is yes, but with a asterisk on it. Yes, I would absolutely give up Harry Ford to get 2 months of a guy like Josh Naylor, unless there's a way to package Harry Ford in a deal to get somebody with more than 2 months of club control, right? And that's when you start having these kind of dreaming big conversations about the Braves selling with Acuna or with Matt Olson or anyone else. Do you have a thought on some of the longer term possibilities that might be out there?
Yeah, I really don't think Atlanta's in a position to sell any of their core players. I mean, Ronald Acuna Jr. Might be the most talented player in baseball, and he might have the most team-friendly contract in baseball too. I just don't see any scenario where Atlanta's going to go, yeah, okay, we'll give him up. Even if the Mariners offered a Juan Soto type package like the Nationals got, like even then, I think that the Braves would probably balk at that. Again, that might go down. That Soto trade might go down with James Wood as one of the best trades of all time. But even then, like you're talking about prospects versus what they know is, again, maybe the best player in baseball when he's healthy, and Ronald Acuna Jr. Matt Olson is a guy I've thought about too. Makes a ton of sense, obviously, for what the Mariners want, but he's under a pretty fair contract too, and he's one of the best power hitters in baseball. Again, I just don't see the Braves giving up any of those core pieces in Austin Riley. I've asked around the industry a little bit. Everyone would said they would be stunned if the Braves did something like that, even with as disappointing as this season has been. I know you guys have talked about Alex Bregman too. That was another sort of pie in the sky one I threw out. Obviously the way the Red Sox are playing right now, looks like they're going to be more buyers than sellers at the deadline. But a lot can happen in 3 weeks. The Mariners could fall flat on their face and have to reassess and sort of straddle that line in a few weeks from now too. Who knows? A lot can and will happen in a few weeks, and that's what makes this deadline so intriguing. Just because we don't know, we can throw out these names, and this is still that time to, like you said, dream big. Why not? But it is really unpredictable. If I had to bet anything right now, I'd say the Mariners aren't going to be able to make a big splashy move just because there aren't going to be that many guys available. And I know that's not what Mariner fans want to hear, but I think that's probably the most realistic scenario at this point.
If you were to gauge in your conversations with folks around the Mariners, their interest level in the market, though, how would you characterize that? Do they want to be hyper-aggressive?
Absolutely. If you guys know Jerry Dipoto, you know he wants to do something. And I think as frustrated as Mariner fans were, as everyone was at the lack of activity over the winter, I think that front office was just as disappointed as anyone else not to be able to kind of get that one batter, that one meaningful addition that obviously this roster, everyone could see that they needed. So they're itching to do something. I think whether you believe in this roster building philosophy or not, the Mariners have used the trade deadline the past few years as such a key part of their roster addition and of their sort of core building philosophy. You look at Randy Arozarena and Luis Castillo in particular, two of the most important guys on the roster, and those are two of the biggest trades that have been executed at the trade deadline in baseball the last few years. And I feel like Jerry, if the opportunity presents itself, Jerry and Justin will go out and pull that trigger again. Again, what prospect are you willing to give up? They're willing to give up something. I can tell you that. They've proven that. They've said that again. They know this roster. They know this team is close. They're fighting. They're hanging on here even through all the pitching injuries. And they're going to go out and try. Whether trying is good enough at the end of the day, we'll find out. But they certainly are going to try.
You're getting to cover one of the great seasons of all time so far by Cal Raleigh. How cool is that? What has been your favorite Cal moment, either on or off the field, of being around him and covering him this year?
I'm actually trying to wrap up a big Cal Sunday story right now, leading into the Home Run Derby and the All-Star break, and able to catch up with a lot of his old friends and family. And, I'll give you a little nugget. I talked to Justin Turner this week, obviously briefly a Mariner last year, but I could see those two connect right away on the side of the cage every day. Justin would talk to anyone and everyone about hitting, but him and Cal really just hit it off right away. And I could just see something, kind of a light bulb a little bit for Cal Raleigh. I wanted to revisit that, track down Justin Turner this week. And it was really intriguing. I learned a lot because I was just trying to learn as much of how is Cal doing this? What is happening beyond just the swing mechanics? But he's obviously entered a different stratosphere here. And you talk to anyone around him, anyone that knows him, people that have known him for a long time. No one is happier for him than the people around him, because he's the first guy to deflect credit. He genuinely is so humble and modest about all this. He's not a guy that seeks out the attention. Yeah, he's on ESPN. He's doing all these interviews, it feels like, every day. And everyone's asking him about the nickname. Where did that come from? They love the nickname. And he's just got this natural, everyman quality about him. One person described him to me as a beer in the shower type of guy. And I thought that was just so perfectly described Cal Raleigh. Like, that's who he is. He just feels like he's one of us, except he's got the Paul Bunyan power, right? And, it's one of the best, like, out of nowhere stories too. And I think that's what makes it such a great nationwide story right now, is no one saw this coming. Who is this guy with the crazy nickname and the crazy power? And it's been fascinating. Like you said, I've been trying to dig into it more, and just all the way going back to when the Mariners almost didn't draft him and how they signed him at the very last minute. And just kind of the way he's built up and made himself into the superstar he is. It's a pretty fascinating story.
So no concern that the humility is all fake after seeing the video of him at 8 years old and saying he's the man. No concern. It's inauthentic.
You'd love to see a kid, man. That's the everyman quality. Wasn't that all of us?
100%.
In the backyard, and that's my kids right now. And it's just, it could not have happened. You hear everyone say this could not have happened to a better guy. He deserves it as much, if not more, than anyone. And I truly believe that. I've been around him the past few years now, but seeing him up close every day, he's the first at the ballpark, the whole cliche. First at the ballpark, last to leave. He's still working out even after catching 9 innings every night. And my big question is how long can you keep this going, of course, right? Because we've never seen this out of a catcher. And so we've never seen this out of a catcher in the second half of the season. As it gets hot in July and August and September, are his legs going to stay fresh? Is he going to have to get off his feet a little bit more defensively? Those are some questions here for down the road, but I think those are legitimate ones too.
It's funny you went there, Salk. I thought you'd go with Passon's piece coming out. When did Passon say his piece is coming out?
Next week. He said it was going to be the best one.
Monday,
So, yeah.
And we asked kind of Passon, why do you think that's going to be the best? And he simply said, because he wrote it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, head-to-head with Passon, do you feel better about your article, or who's going to have better nuggets? What are we thinking?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Passon's as good as there is going right now, so I should probably keep him out.
No.
I'm excited about mine. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
Well, what about Divish coming
too.
back? How's all this going to work? Is Divish even going to be invited back? Is he for sure back? How's all this going to sort itself
Wally
out?
Pipp situation?
Yeah, I heard he almost got kicked out of his first Legion game. I heard a couple weeks ago, just narrowly hung on there. Didn't pick up any bases, I don't think yet. But last I heard they were 19-3 in conference there in Montana.
Wow.
He might get a new contract for next year. So who knows? We'll see.
Okay.
Hey, just to come back to this team for a moment, talking to Adam Jude, who has been on the Mariner beat all this year, and before that too, doing a great job for the Seattle Times. Last month or so, all the conversations about small ball seem to have kind of disappeared. What is that? Just the weather changing? What's happened to the aggressive small ball Mariners?
Yeah, I think even some of that, I think the last sack bunt we saw, I'm probably misremembering this a little bit, a couple weeks ago from J.P. Crawford. Turns out that was J.P. Crawford doing it on his own. It wasn't a called sack bunt either. I found that kind of funny in the moment. But yeah, I do think some of that was overblown, even if you think back to last year. Yeah, we saw some of it just because we never saw any of it with Scott Service, right? But I think Dan Wilson is, he's learning on the fly. He's had to learn on the fly. He's never done this before. And the people you talk to around him, he's so good at culture building and connecting in the relationships. That's his sort of superpower. And then the last thing that was going to come was the X's and O's in the dugout, right? Which, of course, 7 o'clock every night, that's the most important thing at the end of the day. But, I think he's he's digging into the numbers a little bit more, let's say. I think he's understanding, the situations and maybe when to, what tricks to pull out of his bag and when. And, there was even one last week, I think, with Cole Young. It looked like an obvious sack bunt situation with your number 9 rookie hitter, and he didn't do it. And Cole Young ended up, I think, striking out in that situation, runners at first and second. But it was sort of like, look, he'd been on a nice little roll at that point. You want to give your young guy some confidence and let him swing away and try for the best there. It didn't work out. But I do think Dan Wilson isn't stuck in his ways. Like everyone thought he was going to be this super old school guy. I think shows that he's pretty flexible and he's learning on the fly here. It doesn't mean he won't go back to the sack bunt here and there, but certainly to your point, hasn't been a feature of his strategy.
Last thing too would be just what about, we've talked, every day I get texts about moving Julio out of the 2 spot. And, since you're in Divish's role right now, you have to deal with questions about the lineup. I'm not a big lineup guy in general. I really generally don't care that much. But the idea of a guy with a 305 on base percentage hitting ahead of Cal Raleigh is starting to, I think, become pretty noticeable, especially with JP and Randy Arozarena both getting on base at a pretty good clip. Could you move Cal up to 2? Could you move Randy up to 2 and keep Cal at 3? Is there an opportunity to maybe try to put some more runners in front of Cal?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question, fair game, and something they'll certainly have to visit and talk about coming out of the All-Star break if things don't change with Julio. Again, Julio is as streaky as anyone. We've seen it throughout his career right now, and so you don't want to press the panic button if you're the Mariners and if you're Dan Wilson and cause Julio any reason for concern. At the same time, yeah, if Cal's doing what he's doing, you need people on base. You don't want solo homers. We saw him hit 4 homers last night, but you're not scoring enough runs at the end of the day. And it's a tricky balance, right? You need someone behind Cal Raleigh to protect him too, and you could argue that lineup protection is overrated as well. But they got to figure something out. And again, if they're able to make a trade at the end of the month, obviously some of those questions will answer themselves. But Julio is obviously an ongoing discussion, and it's more than the 30 seconds we have here. But there are a number of things there, and again, it's not that Julio's not trying and that he's not deserving of the All-Star selection or all that stuff. Like he's trying to figure it out, and at some point you feel like he's going to, because every summer he does. And so I think that's what the Mariners are banking on. I know that's what they're banking on. It's right there. He's so close. He's for me, he's just got to get in a box and be an athlete and stop overthinking things right now, because he seems to be in his head again. He seems to be just chasing every first pitch, no matter where it is. And we know how good he is. We know how good he can be. It's just a matter of him relaxing and getting the box and see the ball hit the ball.
Unfortunately, yesterday doesn't help any of that conversation. Another tough night for Julio. His on-base percentage drops to .301 now, so he's a tough night tonight against Skubal from dropping under a 300 on-base percentage. Yikes. All right, what happened last night? Why did it go that way, and what does it mean? Brock's in next. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
The season of Cal continues.
And the next offer on the way to Cal, swinging a drive deep to right field.
Big dumper is in the Derby.
Goodbye, baseball.
Like, what if Cal was doing this for the Yankees and Judge was doing this for the Mariners? Who's the MVP then?
Hear Cal Raleigh in the Home Run Derby, Monday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com for more.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new Comcast Business customers can find out how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Early termination fee applies.
It's time for your summer road trip service at Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton. Before you hit the road, stop by and get your vehicle road trip ready with their incredible service departments, no appointment necessary. Now through July 31st, you can receive $100 off when purchasing 4 eligible tires. Whether you're in the north or the south, their expert technicians have you covered. Visit Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland today for your summer road trip service and drive into adventure with confidence. Offers valid through July 31st, 2025. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Business leaders know to solve a problem, you gotta look at it in a new way. Like travel between Seattle and Portland. Why is it such a pain? I-5 traffic, TSA slowdowns, SeaTac hassles. Seaport removes those pain points. We fly out of Boeing Field and a private terminal at PDX. You park for free, steps away from your plane. And with flights every 45 minutes, you're always home for dinner. Problem solved. Seaport Airlines. It's about time.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. Spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The countdown is on.
12 days until Seahawks training camp.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to do you a minute.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello!
All right, rough one last night, Brock. We've been talking about it a little bit throughout the morning. Joe Girardi had a good seat. He'll join us in a half hour, and then G. Scott later, and then it could be a very interesting day for your phone calls at 9:30. It is a brutal loss. There's no doubt about it. There fortunately haven't been many of those types of games this year, right, where the bullpen just completely melts down late. It's unlikely we'll see too many games where Brash, Munoz, and Spire all give it up. But the timing was rough. The look was bad. And it's an ugly one as you wake up this morning.
Remember where you were? Do you remember where you were? So on June 24th of 1977, do you remember where you were? And
I wasn't quite born yet.
Yeah, you were just still, I mean, you were getting close.
Yeah, about 10 months away.
So Larry and Jane, I mean, you were right around the corner.
Let's not talk about that, thanks.
You
it's not something I really want to think about. Yeah.
You don't want to talk about June 24th, 1977, because that was the last time a team had been no hit for 7 innings and down 5 and found a way to come back and win that game. It happened to the Pirates in 1977, and it happened
so funny.
to our beloved
As I'm
Seattle
watching
Mariners.
that game, though, I'm even in the 8th inning, I'm like, oh, this game's not over. It's only 5 runs in Yankee Stadium. Like, you just don't. I'm sorry. I've just watched too many of those games in my life to believe that anything in Yankee Stadium, anything in Fenway Park, those buildings are just, they're very different. And the combination of the short porch and right, or on, the wall in left field in Fenway, but just talking about Yankee Stadium, the short porch and right, and that crowd and the ghosts and how it is to close out games there. Even a 5-run lead does not feel safe in the 8th inning with 2 of the best relievers in baseball coming in to pitch. I'm sorry. I
don't know what was. I mean, the end was more shocking, obviously. But I was, if you would have told me as I watched that first inning yesterday, like, ooh, this streak of 17 in a row or whatever it is for Wu, like, walk a couple guys, pitch counts in the mid-20s, just probably not going to get there in that building against this lineup. And then you tell me that he's going to dial it in. And got the double play and then get 20 in a row, and then your no-hitter through 7. We were eventually at a little sports bar, Molly and Titus and I last night watching that. And and watched the 8th, and like, okay, well, they get out of it, get to the car, and drive it home. I was like, okay, great. I'm not seeing any frantic texts from my friends quite yet. I've got a few friends that let me know they just vomited in their mouth, or I'm just threw something, or what have you. I haven't seen anything, so found a way to win. I parked the car. Bases are loaded at that point. And yeah, then
we got a couple decisions to talk about because, look, you got to execute, but 3 things end up playing into this game. One, the decision to leave Wu in after he gave up the first hit. I was a little surprised.
I said to Molly, I pull him.
You got to pull him.
And she was like, well, why do you do that? I said, because all of like the momentum,
That's right.
juice. And if you just watch these things, like once you've given up that hit, it's just, I don't know. It's like a marathon runner. Once they finish and they hit 26.2, they've emptied
all the adrenaline. You've done everything you can do.
Yes.
And he's near 100 pitch. Like, there's just no reason to keep throwing him at that point.
And you hadn't used Brash and Munoz for the series, and this is your chance to just put a nail in it.
And you got to have Brash
it.
warming and ready to go. Yep. So, to me, that was sort of mistake number 1. Very surprised to see him continue to stay in there. Now, Brash still has to get you out of that inning. Giving up the home run is brutal, don't get me wrong, but yeah, kind of a weird decision. Generally, that's what you see. After the guy gives up his first hit in the 7th, 8th inning, all right, take him out of the game, bring in the reliever, and off you go. The second one, to me, is what you saw in the bottom of the 10th. You get the runner on second, which I still think is stupid, but okay. And the 9-hitter gives you a gift by popping up the bunt. All right, now you got man on second, 1 out, which is huge. They need a hit to win the game. And you go intentional walk. I get it. You want Spire to face the lefty, but in order to get out of the game, unless he gets a double play, which is a big if, you're going to have to face Judge anyway.
Or you were going to walk Judge at that point to get to another lefty in Bellinger.
With the bases loaded?
With the bases loaded.
Oof. So you were going to put that guy on third? I don't know,
man.
Yeah,
you were going to walk him. Like, that run at second doesn't matter. So you're going to walk Judge in that moment. You made that decision. Once you made that decision, then I think you equally make the decision that we will walk Judge if we have to get to that point, and we'll take our chances with Spire on Bellinger, a lefty on lefty.
With the bases loaded?
With the bases loaded.
I don't like it. I'm sorry. I don't. If he's in the game in that spot, I understand the righty-lefty stuff. I got to make sure I'm not facing Aaron Judge. That is the number one thing you can't do is face Aaron Judge.
But you were going to walk him. So
you ended up facing Aaron Judge. You have to make sure that doesn't happen. You can't face Aaron Judge. I would rather see him go after Goldschmidt? Yeah.
All right.
Unfortunately, I think he's got to pitch to Goldschmidt. If it doesn't work, fine. But you cannot end up having to face Aaron Judge as it is. He did a pretty good job against him. I mean, he got a pop-up that, gosh, was it ever close? I mean, Julio made what a throw and all of it, but unfortunately. And then the last thing, of course, and I do have some from Dan here. Let me play you his sound because he did talk about the decision to keep Wu back out there.
I think we were ready to go, and the way he was throwing the ball, he was just, he was going to, we had a chance to go a little bit more with him. They just got the 2 quick hits, but then able to get the out. And then, I thought Matty was, ready to go. So it was, again, just an outstanding outing for Brian and, just an incredible outing for him.
The last
problem running him out, and he's absolutely right. He wasn't
Agreed.
Pressurized at all through the 5th or the 6th or the 7th. If any of those had been some tough innings or what have you, that wasn't the case. So that pitch count was the pitch count. But you also look at, I think we've learned, how many stressful innings, how many stressful at bats did he have through? Not many. So there's no debate. There should be zero debate about running him out in the 8th. It's just whether or not. Brash could have been ready if after that first hit, and I don't know. I mean, Brash also didn't do his job. Right? I mean, he gives up the home run, and all of a sudden the momentum in that building totally turns, and it's a 2-run lead in the 9th, and it's fair game. And anything can obviously happen, and unfortunately did happen.
The last one is just what happened with Andres Munoz and clearly tipping his pitches. So if you missed it on TV, Brock, you probably
I did. I went back and watched.
Did you see the guy at center field doing or at second base doing the bird deal or the Teen Wolf dance or whatever he was doing?
Yep.
I mean, it was pretty clear. So they clearly had picked something up with Munoz, and because of it, as I said earlier, maybe the best news there is now at least the Mariners know that somebody picked it up, so he can change whatever it is that's given them a clue. But, I mean, when they knew what was coming, sure made it a lot harder.
Can I hear Cal talk about it? Because he was asked about it, right?
He was.
Isn't that Cal's responsibility to see that at second base, too?
Oh, I think he did. I think they just, I don't know, something they couldn't. I mean, he said it was clear as day. Here's what he said.
Yeah, he was tipping it every time on second base. So, yeah, obviously they weren't making it very discreet, I guess is the word. So, but it is part of the game, and it's our job that we had to have better, know about that going into series, and yeah, I mean that made it really hard there at the end. So.
I don't know what it was. I mean, maybe it was something they didn't know what it was that was tipping them. They just knew it was being tipped.
So at that point, you can't just say to Mooney, hey, man, mix it up, change it, because you don't want to get him out of his routine, right? And he's been in such a rhythm, and he's been such a role. So it's just as I said, it's just a mess. I think the only thing we learn in this segment is that, June 24, 77, pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close to your conception.
Let's not talk anymore about that. That really doesn't seem like a subject that we need to spend any time on this morning. I think I would rather talk about the Mariners getting walked off and blowing a 5-0 lead in the 8th inning than talking any more about my conception.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
Cal is on a historic pace. We haven't really seen anything like this, right? You have to look around the rest of that team and go, okay, who's going to carry some of this offensive load? Do you feel like it could be Randy?
It could be. It should be. You need guys like Randy to step up. Can we expect him to have 2 bombs a night? No, let's be real. And I think most of you are going to be real. 4 RBIs last night, the most since April 9th against Houston, so that's good.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, and you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
The perfect night out this summer is under the stars at the drive-in movies. Enjoy classic films, cool cars, and unforgettable memories, all from the comfort of your own ride at the LeMay America's Car Museum movie nights. Bring the kids, pack snacks, and tune in for fun. The next showing is Transformers on July 27th. LeMay Drive-In Movies, where the big screen meets the open road. Space is limited, so reserve now at americascarmuseum.org.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
All she had to do was just give me that wing.
Dust off your cowboy boots and grab your hats because Neil McCoy is coming to the Event Center at Silver Reef Casino Resort on Saturday, July 26th. Tickets are available now at silverreefcasino.com, starting at just $50. Mark your calendars and get ready for a boot-stomping good time at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Get your tickets now at silverreefcasino.com.
Silver Reef Casino Resort off I-5, exit 260.
Overburdened with a bunch of stuff you don't want anymore, but feel bad throwing it away? John here with Happy Hauler, Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We prioritize donating and recycling. We'll help get your items to those in need instead of going to the landfill. At Happy Hauler, we pride ourselves on responsibility, community, and sustainability. We're a family-run small business that provides junk removal, donations, and recycling. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. It's time to reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, games at Yankee Stadium, Brock, not over until they are actually over. And last night's about as good an example as you're going to get. Brian Wu, phenomenal, obviously, through 7 no-hit innings, virtually untouchable, but a couple base runners, couple hits in the 8th. All of a sudden, a 5-0 game turns into a 5-3 game, and then you're in the 9th, and you have this problem.
The 3-2 on the way, swinging a line drive into right field for a base hit. Grisham will score. Bellinger rounding third, he will score, and the Yankees have tied the game here in the bottom of the 9th inning at 5-5. Austin Wells with a single into right field. Grisham scoring easily. Bellinger scoring easily. Rayleigh up for the ball, gets the throw to third, and now the Yankees have the winning run on at second base.
Yeah, that run they were able to prevent from scoring, but an inning later, Aaron Judge hits a walk-off sac fly. Heck of a throw from Julio, just not quite there in time, and the Mariners are swept in New York.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think a lot of the banter after that one last night, I think our old buddy Larry Stone even, excuse me, started some of that tweeting. That was the most painful loss of the year, right?
Yeah, they really haven't had that many painful losses this year.
No.
So, yeah.
So
that one stands out because
you're throwing a no-hitter in the 8th
inning.
inning. Everybody's wondering, can Wu get this done?
Right.
Can he go close it out? And the thought after the 3-run bomb from Polanco, the thought of actually losing that game and getting swept, that just was not in anybody's recess of any of their brain. And then all of a sudden it comes to the frontal lobe, and all of a sudden it happens. Yeah, and I think there were probably maybe more fights and marriages, maybe more frustrations around Puget Sound, maybe things broken more with that game than any other singular game this season.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another game this year that's been just like, oh my God, it's so frustrating. I can't believe they.
Like
the
Royals game the year before, right? With Bryce, where they were up like 8-0,
Well,
10-0.
That was a rough one. Or the Royals game the year before that, and then like 2 weeks later they made the playoffs. I mean, like these things happen over the course of a baseball season. You're gonna have a handful of games like this, but certainly the timing of it after the 2 losses in New York to make it a sweep when you're trying to show whether or not you really belong against some of the better competition in the league. Yeah, I think I understand a lot of that frustration, and I think some frustration in the clubhouse after.
It's quiet. It's quiet. It's like I said. It's just a tough way to lose. It's tough to lose there and get worked off here in this ballpark, and we got to regroup, which we do, and we got to come out tomorrow and ready to go in Detroit.
Well, they will, and they'll have to do it against Scooball tonight, so not an easy road ahead. Luis Castillo.
Scooball's tonight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Scooball tonight. Who's tomorrow? Mize tomorrow, and then Flaherty on Sunday. So not easy. You get The Rock tonight, and then Furious George tomorrow, and Logan Gilbert to close it out on Sunday. Red Sox win last night. Mariners now a game out in the wild card. Houston off, so the deficit back to 7 in the West.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Brian Wu's next pitch will probably be in the All-Star game. He's gone now this whole season without leaving a game before the 6th. Just a tremendous run for him. Be cool to see him throw to Cal in the All-Star game. He'd have to be probably the second pitcher in after the starter, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see it, maybe not. Cal, meanwhile, now knows who he will be competing against in the home run derby. Here's the list, Brock. No Julio, but Byron Buxton, Junior Caminero, Ronald Acuna, Jazz Chisholm, Brent Rooker, O'Neal Cruz, and James Wood.
And that's why I think Cal Raleigh, I was just looking, is actually favored to win this home run derby for whatever the odds in the home run derby mean. No Julio.
Yeah, I'd like to see Julio in there.
Curious if he was asked.
I don't know. Maybe Julio's going to try to take it easy. Stay out of the public eye. He's got 301 on base percentage as of today.
This has been a bad offensive stretch for Mr. Rodriguez.
It's been very, very challenging. James Wood might be my favorite in there. MLB draft, of course, will be on Sunday. Mariners pick number 3 overall. Here was Andy McKay yesterday with Bump and Stacy.
That was one of the coolest moments we've had as a group and at the winter meetings. And like you said, you're like, oh, maybe we'll get lucky and move up a few spots. And, it just kept going and kept going and kept going. And, to end up with the 3rd pick is just a huge gift. And hopefully we do well with it because we don't plan on getting to pick there again.
Yeah, no kidding. Pretty cool. So that will be on Sunday. Lyle has his last draft profile coming up today at 9 o'clock.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Tight ends today, Brock. Tight ends today for ESPN.
I cheated.
Oh, you looked?
This time.
All right. Well, so none in the top 10, none in the 7 honorable mentions, none of the 5 more receiving votes. So top 22.
Yeah.
No Seahawks.
No Noah Fant. No Noah Fant.
No.
He'd be the only kid. The other guys are young. AJ definitely took some steps and strides, Barner, last year to show you that he might be a number 1 tight end.
Maybe.
And obviously where he took Arroyo, you hope that he is on this
That's
list
the goal.
next year or the year
I mean, I think when it's said and done, you're hoping that Arroyo is that guy. That's why DJ said this to us after the draft.
He went to the Senior Bowl, guys, and if you would just popped on the Senior Bowl practice tape and watched him move around and run around, you'd be like, this guy's a first-round pick. Like, he's got height, weight, speed. He can separate. He can track the ball. He can go up and get it. Just, and then when you talk to the coaches at Miami, they say, look, even when he was healthy, we underutilized him for what he is. So, Restrepo just kind of was like, that was where the targets were flowing for Cam Ward. He's comfortable with him. But at that point in the draft, absolutely, that's a good pick, man. You just, you got to cross your fingers and toes. You can keep him healthy. But athlete-wise, you got somebody that's got a chance to be a really solid starter.
All right, so hopefully he's in that group next year. The year after, George Kittle, by the way, number 2. Trey McBride in Arizona, number 4.
Yeah, and it's also why, when you look at this roster heading into camp, Salk, and you still hear some scuttlebutt, and I think rightfully so, and maybe it heats up during camp, depending on what Arroyo looks like and Barner and some of the other pieces, that, there's not many guys on this Seahawks roster right now who are getting paid a lot of money for little production. There's just not many of them, right? We've talked about how many guys are going in their fourth year and are looking for their next big contract. But how many guys are making a ton of dough, have a big cap number, and you don't see a top 10 player, top 15, top 20 at their position? That is Noah Fant. He's about it.
Yep.
Right. Honestly, as I kind of think through it and process through everybody on this roster, he'd probably Uchenna Nwosu, but they've also taken that salary down and cut back some of that money with his injuries the last few years. But Noah's the one, and it's why you still hear some scuttlebutt about, well, let's watch Noah in camp and let's see if he's a Seahawk all the way through this thing, because he's making a big chunk of change for not being one of the top 22 tight ends.
All right, that's everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour on the Brock and Salk Show. I think we'll talk more about that with G. Scott at 8:30. And then at 9:30, of course, what a day for phone calls. We'll see what direction that goes with you guys at 9:30 with the open phone lines. Up next, though, never talked to Joe Girardi before. 4-time World Series champion, 3 as a player, 1 as a manager. He was there for Yes Network these last 3 nights. What did he see from our Mariners? We'll find out next on Brock and Salk.
Tuesday, the All-Star Fantastic Four.
Holy smokes!
Andres, Bryant, Julio, and Cal.
Number 34 for the big dumper.
Hear the Mariners All-Stars in the 2025 All-Star Game. Tuesday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, we're under a month now until August 8th. That's when everything opens up at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is officially open for bookings. And then, opening date is August 8th. You got to go to snocasino.com to get your room. And you'll see the breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley, the whole expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big spa, the new entertainment space and convention center, and new restaurants as well. I love that. Go to snocasino.com. Yes, Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Are you still using allergy pills and sprays to treat your allergy attacks? I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. Nasal congestion, sneezing, runny nose, snoring, facial pain are just a few of the sinus symptoms we can help you out with. From allergy workups and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced outpatient balloon sinuplasty, we can diagnose and treat your problems. Let us help you get relief, easily, quickly, and permanently. Find us in Federal Way or Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snare, that's short. Not a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ann, who broke her leg in a trip and fall accident.
I had broken my femur and I was in horrific pain. We chose Iddens because they had a good reputation. I wasn't just a name, I was a person, and that makes a big difference. I'm just grateful that we had the settlement for my care. I'm very pleased.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Summer is here and Washington Energy's BOGO 40% off sale is on now. Update and enhance your home with beautiful new windows and doors expertly installed by Washington Energy Services. Save today with one of our best deals of the year. Buy one energy efficient window, get the second at 40% off. And BOGO 40% off all entry, patio, and interior doors right now. From traditional to modern home updates and with over 65 years of award-winning installations, Washington Energy is the clear choice. Call today for a free estimate.
It's time for your summer road trip service at Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton. Before you hit the road, stop by and get your vehicle road trip ready with their incredible service departments, no appointment necessary. Now through July 31st, you can receive $100 off when purchasing 4 eligible tires. Whether you're in the north or the south, their expert technicians have you covered. Visit Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland today for your summer road trip service and drive into adventure with confidence. Offers valid through July 31st, 2025. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Rich in Auburn says he's taking his break at 9:30 so he can give us an entertaining meltdown. He's very upset today. Rich, that's what we're here for. Every Friday at 9:30, open phone lines, whatever it is you guys want to talk about. We're here for you. And
is that Rich in Auburn that was a caller yesterday with the patches?
I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah,
Same Rich.
I believe it's the same Rich. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Although there was also what's the guy in Mukilteo? Wasn't that also Rich? Not sure.
Richard.
Yeah, it's somewhat hard to remember.
Wydell, Steve.
Yeah, it was Rich. He was on yesterday. He was he was there. It was definitely the same Rich. So yeah, we'll see where all of that goes. It's a brutal loss. There's no doubt. And getting swept in Yankee Stadium, from a Yankee team that really was not playing all that well and doesn't pitch all that well, I think is pretty upsetting. And Stroman wasn't good at all last night. Right, that was part of the frustration as well. When you lose a game like that and you weren't able to get anything going against a guy that really doesn't have a whole lot right now. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you scored a few runs off of him, but even still, some missed opportunities there. And then once it got late, you start feeling those Yankee Stadium things. Yep. I know it's not the same Yankee Stadium, but it's the same crowd, and they still have the same arrogant, obnoxious belief that they're destined to win that game. Yeah. And it's frustrating, but it's true.
Yeah, you said it, and even through the broadcast, you can feel just a couple of these parks. You don't really feel Ranger Ballpark.
No.
You don't feel anything in Anaheim. There's been nothing in Oakland for a long time. The Coliseum used to in the 80s and 90s, obviously, in their run with all their talent and champs, but there's not many places that you legitimately feel it. I would say Fenway, having sat in those seats as well, would be probably, and I'm not just playing to you and Maura.
No, it's just true.
It's just like the sound reverberates.
Yeah.
Everything just stays right in that little park. And then in New York, you feel the juice. You feel it through the television. You feel it on every fly ball. You feel it like these fans are engaged. They spend a lot of money. They're committed to those teams. They have seen a lot of championships, albeit not in some time, but they still, as you said, hold that belief that they're different than everybody else.
Yeah, they
and
know
that
how to
place gets
influence
going.
the ends of games. And, those two ballparks probably more than anywhere else, just because of the Oh, okay. Sounds good. We're going to have Joe Girardi here in just a minute. We were having a little phone issue with him, but he'll be here in just a minute. Yeah, I would say that those two ballparks, and he could speak to this as well as anybody, right? I mean, having played plenty of games in both places, there is just this thing with, and in the old days at Fenway, it was the opposite. When they were trying to close out a game, you could feel the negative energy from their own fans.
Something's going to go wrong.
Just waiting for something to go wrong. Yeah, exactly. And in Yankee Stadium, and now these days, since then in Fenway, I think you feel that difference. Joe Girardi understands it as well as anyone. 4-time World Series champion, 3 times a player, once as a manager. Kind enough to take a few minutes with us. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
I'm good, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, how do you process that game last night? You can imagine how us Mariner fans out in Seattle felt about that sucker last night. How does Joe Girardi take in that game?
It's baseball. Every once in a while, your back end of your bullpen's going to have a bad day, and the Yankees had some good at-bats. And I heard something talking about on the radio station here in New York that somebody was tipping. I'm not sure if that was true, but it just happens. You're going to have, during the course of the season, 5 games you probably shouldn't win, and 5 games you should win, and it's going to end up the opposite. And I think that's what happened to Seattle last night. You put Seattle in that situation 50 times, they're probably going to win that game 49.
As a manager, what do you say to the team? How do you handle it? And especially not just the tough loss, because obviously you're right. That is baseball, and those things happen. And they haven't really happened too much to this team this year. But it's also a sweep in Yankee Stadium and about to go to Detroit and face Skubal. How do you handle that as a manager?
You try to be the same, and you continue to encourage, because it's a long year. I look at the Yankees. They went to Toronto. They lost 4. They lost the first 2 against the Mets in Citi Field, and it was all doom and gloom. They were done. They were going to lose the next 50 games in a row. And now they've reeled off 4 games in a row. So it's you got to be the same. I mean, you're going to run into Skubal. You're going to be in a battle there. But I think it's a good team that's built on pitching. And when you have pitching, you have a chance.
Mm-hmm. And it's also been built on the big buttocks of a catcher that right now is doing things, Joe, that's never been done in the first half of a baseball season. That's a position you played. As Salk said, your resume is as rich as anybody, and your history in this game, as you watch somebody do what Cal Raleigh has done through the first 90-something games. Once again, kind of same thing. How do you process it?
Well, I'm going to tell you what the amazing thing about Cal is for me. He's a very good catcher as well. He's just not an offensive player. He throws well. He blocks well. And I was kind of like, as I got to know him more and more, I was like, man, this is a complete player. I mean, you get this kind of offense from a catcher, and he's played in 91 games. You're going, oh, my gosh. My biggest concern for him is that he wears down in the second half, just because it's such a physical position. But what he's done is truly special. I think – it's a 2-horse race right now for MVP and between him and Aaron Judge. And you look at Aaron Judge's numbers where he's hitting, 356 with 34 homers and 78 RBIs at the All-Star break, and you say, there's nobody close to that. But Cal is right there when it comes to MVP voting, and that's amazing. You're seeing a special year out of a special player.
Hey, so you mentioned the tipping, and Cal talked about it. I know some of the Yankees talked about it afterwards, and you could see the runners on second in the 9th. I mean, they were almost making like bird wings or something every time he was getting ready to throw a slider. So what do you do as a catcher when that gets picked up? I don't think it's signs at this point, right? Because they got pitch comm.
No.
So what do you do in that moment when you realize that your pitcher is clearly tipping his pitches?
it's hard to fix in the moment, and hopefully someone figures out exactly what he's doing from the bench. And I'm sure they've known in the past what he's done, and he was just – it's hard to go out there and say, hey, you got to stop doing it. But somebody's got to walk out there and say, "What you got to stop doing it." And it's really frustrating to lose a game by that, because with every camera that you have, every eye that you have on it during the game, we're breaking things down. Every analyst is looking at it. It shouldn't happen, but it happens from time to time. I was doing a playoff game, and it was Houston, Tampa Bay, and I think it was Glasnow. And I said, they got something on him in the first inning. And I wasn't exactly sure what it was, and I was watching it, and they scored 4 runs in the first. Whatever it was, he went and corrected. They didn't score another run. They ended up losing the game and losing the series, but just that one inning of tipping gave the hitters a huge advantage, and I'm sure Seattle will correct that very quickly.
What kind of things do get noted? Like what sort, not that you know what Munoz specifically is doing, but what sorts of tells are there besides stealing signs?
It could be where they set the glove. It could be higher for one pitch than the other. It could be farther away from his body. It could be the way that he comes up. It could be the pace that he comes up. It could be the way he stands. There are so many things. And there are hitters in the big leagues, like I've been around a few, that pick it up, and I'll say, I don't see it, but they pick it up, and then it gets passed around. But obviously he hasn't done it the whole time, or no one really picked it up before, because his ERA is sparkling. So, I mean, what we saw last night, he hadn't given up runs. He had a 0 in front of his ERA. So that's the amazing thing to me is I don't know what he was doing different, but the Yankees found something.
You said something earlier that just kind of piqued my curiosity a little bit, Joe. Back in your playing days, what was your height and weight? What was your kind of peak playing condition?
I was 5'11", 200 pounds.
All right, so 5'11", 200. You said about Cal Raleigh earlier, your concern, and I think we've talked about this a lot. He plays a lot. He DHs. He's been so red hot, you can't take his bat out of the lineup. Do you think it's advantageous for him to be 6'2", 235 pounds, to be a bigger guy, to endure? Or do you think that size also maybe actually plays it the other way, that it's even harder as a bigger guy behind the dish?
I think it adds to his power, but I think as time goes on, it becomes more difficult. Just because it's more taxing on your legs. I mean, that's a big frame. But good Lord, Seattle fans really need to appreciate him. Baseball really needs to appreciate what he's done, because I had a chance to play one of the greatest hitting catchers of all time, Mike Piazza. Mike Piazza never did this. And that's how good this season has been. And you think about the pitching today and what the average hitter is hitting, you really got to take a look at this and say, we're watching something special.
How much does the sort of the new way of catching help? Tanner Swanson, who I know there's in New York, local guy here from Seattle, and he's helped develop these new stances that these guys have. I know a lot of it's about pitch framing, but is it more comfortable? Does it help them catch more often and last longer?
It does. It's much less taxing on your legs. And that will help him. I once asked JT Real Muto when I was managing him, I said, what's the difference? And he said, it's like 50% less taxing, catching on one knee. And I watched Cal the other day, and I believe he started on the knee, and then he real quick got in his stance right at the end because he thought someone was going to run, and he made a perfect throw and threw him out. But it definitely helps. I also think the weather in Seattle helps, not being so hot all the time. I don't know what it's like there now, but I used to love going there in the middle of the summer, like going there in Oakland, because it felt refreshing compared to playing, like in Texas or, I don't know, you play in Kansas City or Atlanta. It's refreshing, so that should help him.
You mentioned how good he is also defensively. Where would you kind of put his prowess behind the plate, throwing guys out, blocking balls, framing? Do you put him in that? I mean, we see the offensive numbers, a lot harder to dig into those kind of numbers, that next level stuff defensively. Where do you put him in that capacity in the league?
I was really impressed when I saw the throw that he made the other day and how quick he was for such a big man. it's really impressive. And you look at his other numbers that he has. His framing is a plus. It's in the top 12%. His caught stealing is a plus. His blocking lacks a little bit. But here's the thing about blocking, and people get concerned about one day. The reason they're able to do it is these pitchers have such good control. Very seldom do you get a pitch that's that far out of your body range that you need to block. Now, if I had a young kid that was scattering, I would have another stance for that kid. And I wouldn't tell him why, but I would have it because I would know that I would have to move a little bit more. But he controls the game. His catching is really good, too. I mean, he won a Gold Glove. Am I not correct about that? So
platinum
other
glove.
people obviously, yes, recognize what he has done defensively, and that's what makes him such a valuable player. He's not just a one-sided player.
Hey, the other thing we're watching this year, talking to Joe Girardi, is a rookie manager. Dan had a couple, a month or so last year, but for the most part, a rookie manager this year. What are the hardest parts of learning to manage a baseball team? And how long does it take? I mean, when did you really feel like you had it?
Never. The hardest thing is, to me, figuring out what your exact niche is. And I know Dan knows it, but trusting that that's what your niche, and then trusting everyone else around you that complements your niche. So, like, I always thought my niche was the calling the pitches and the catching part of it and the defensive part of it and the small ball part of it. My niche was not fielding ground balls or pitching mechanics. So I got coaches that I really trusted and believed in, and I just let them work. And you can't micromanage because you don't have the time in the day. There's a lot required of you. You go to the ballpark early, and a lot of times I would go to the ballpark early just knowing that something was going to pop up that I was not prepared for necessarily during that day, whether it was someone came in sore or I had to do something for the front office. Learning to manage your time and making sure that you're always prepared, because you also have to manage your family at home. And I had young kids, and I always wanted to be there for them too. So I think learning how to manage your day every day where you're most productive as a manager, a friend sometimes, and a family person.
And on that last end of it, how quickly can you get to Eskimo Joe's in Stillwater? Will we share some? Are we going to share some onion rings before some games, or
Yes, for sure. I got my season tickets yesterday.
Nice.
I tried to get them in your section, but the seats next to you were gone. So
you're by the way lucky about that. That's a good deal. You don't realize how much you lucked out. Listening to Brock during games is rough.
I went a section over, and funny enough, I just declined her. My daughter Lena, who plays with Brock's daughter, Macy, just FaceTimed me. So I declined her, and I will call her back when we're done. But I was just there for 3 days, and I took a 7:00 flight out of Oklahoma City back to LaGuardia, and at least they have a direct flight there. No direct flight from where we live in Florida, though.
I got a text here from a listener that says, I never thought I would like Joe. I was wrong. I'm sorry, Joe. And I might have to put myself in that same category. I grew up in Boston. Brock said we were going to have you on. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. He backed up Jorge Posada. Like, I don't know if I can do this. But I gritted my way through the beginning, and I kind of with the texter. I never thought I would like you, but now I do. And I'm feeling a little bit of guilt, but also kind of excited about that.
Boston was one of my favorite road cities to go to.
Because you always won?
Such a great town. No, we didn't. We didn't always win there. And it's a young, youthful, alive town. Now, the ballpark is a little bit difficult at times because we didn't always win there, and it's not the most comfortable ballpark when you're losing and people are right on top of you yelling at you. But the rivalry is fantastic. It's so good for sports, the Yankees and the Red Sox, I believe.
Well, you love that smell in the visitors' clubhouse in there too. That was always something impressive.
The sausage where they cook the sausage is right outside the clubhouse. Man, does that smell good too.
Joe, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thanks for your thoughts and some really great insight. And hopefully we'll get a chance to talk again.
Yes, and good luck to your Mariners. And wouldn't it be great if they were playing in the League Championship Series against the Yankees? That'd be special. I would not want to see the picture they saw last night, though. The Yankees haven't scored in 19 innings off again.
Pretty good. All right, there you go. There's Joe Girardi, kind enough to take some time with us, and I'm kind of with him. That was good. I really like the insight, Brock, especially on the details of catching, the details of managing. That's a guy who's been there and been around it for a really long time.
And for all of those of us that have watched thousands of baseball games, what their eyes see when he talked about tipping pitches. What those guys look for and what their eyes see, and maybe the hand placement, the way the glove was sitting, as he talked about the tempo, whatever it was, they picked up on it in a way that nobody else had done.
Yeah.
And took great advantage of it. It's just a window in yet again that you can look at all these numbers, you can watch all these games, you think you can see the games through the same optics, but you simply don't compared to those that have lived it and breathed it and performed in it for decades and decades.
Well, by the way, that's why I always recommend that book, Throwback, from Jason Kendall. If you're looking for a baseball book and you love the game, read Throwback from Jason Kendall, the old catcher. It is as in-depth. It gives you the best behind-the-scenes view of baseball that I've ever seen, heard, read, anything like that. He really does take you through all what's really going on the field, behind the scenes, etc. It's awesome. So I would highly recommend it. If you're a big baseball fan but didn't play the game at that level, like most of us didn't, Throwback from Jason Kendall. Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
Blue 88! Blue 88!
We take you to the field as Brock Ewart breaks down 3 football questions as only he can.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock, 30th ranked Seahawks offensive line. We talked about it the other day, according to Pro Football Focus. Could they still somehow be a positive for this team?
I really appreciated these 40 seconds from Sonny Dykes. I was just kind of looking through and scrolling through stuff last night, and because the high school program that I'm coaching at, Mike, is an offensive line of scrimmage-driven culture, it's where all the best players are, this just resonated, and it made me think about the 2 best eras in Seahawk football. Yeah, the offensive line was the culture in the mid-2000s, and if you actually look back at Max Unger and James Carpenter and Breno Giacomini and Russell Okung, you realize what Sonny Dykes says here, how much of the culture those guys set as well.
I really firmly believe this. The 5 guys that you have that play up front for you, that is the most important organization in your team. Those 5 guys are the most important. All right, number 1, because, they're going to determine what kind of offense you run. Do you have 5 road grader guys? Are you going to run the ball? Are you going to knock people off the ball? Do you have 5 finesse guys that can pass protect, can get out on screens, can pull, can do different things? Then you have to adjust your offense to fit that kind of personnel, okay? But I think most importantly, what those 5 guys up front do, they set the culture of your football team and your football program.
Yeah, and it's why you made the move you did at 18. Why you just said Gray Zabel's got to be our guy at 18. Why Steve Hutchinson said to John Schneider, he's got to be your guy. You may like some of the other guys, and the guard from Arizona is going to be a good player, but this is the guy you got to have, because we got to get back to actually setting a culture, not just the play, not just the PFF grade, Salk, but actually set the culture with that group that really defines half of your huddle.
All right, question number 2. Darnold contract, Brock, is pretty flexible. Think we'll like that even more by the end of the college football season?
Yeah, and remember we were talking earlier this week about Geno and Darnold and who's better and who would you rather have. And as you said, okay, maybe on the field Geno's a better player, but I want this. I want the flexibility. I want, the structure of this contract, and it should be enhanced that much more, because as these media days are getting going in college football, you know what you realize, Salk? Next year's draft class, and Daniel Jeremiah has hinted at this, whoa. It's going to be a whole lot better than this last one was. Kid out of South Carolina can play. Kid out of Penn State can play. Kid out of ASU can play. There's going to be a whole bunch of Baskin-Robbins of different flavors of quarterback as well. So, yes, you do not want to be locked into 3 years and $130 million guaranteed dollars. You want exactly what you got in this Darnold.
And if he's great, then you won't need to draft anyone. And if he stinks, then you're probably going to be bad, and you can be in a pretty good spot to draft one of those guys.
That's exactly.
Yeah, question number 3. Your question is, why did Chris Peterson come to your mind while reading and reacting to Big 12 media days?
Yep.
I just assume Chris Peterson's always on your mind.
No, he's not always on my mind.
He's usually on your mind.
He's not always
he's pretty often on your mind.
He got out before all this chaos. And as I'm watching these coaches, I'm listening to Deion Sanders try to dance his way around salary cap as I listen to Mike Gundy talk about these guys are employees and we need collectively bargained. The Sabans, the Petersons, the Mac Browns are just like, I'm out. I don't want my name attached to this era of football. I'm just done. This is only going to get messier and messier and messier. And I think, honestly, I don't know if Lincoln Riley, he may win a national title at USC because they've got a massive amount of talent coming in. But I think you're going to see what you've seen. The Ryan Days try to get to the NFL. I don't know who wants to be left kind of holding the bag when this whole thing implodes. That's really the point of it. And I think Chris got out well before and knew what was on the horizon. But I will be kind of curious to watch over the next year, the 24 months, as all this stuff continues to get messier. How many other guys say, yeah, I'm out. I'm done. Let me get to the league. Let me get to that structure. I don't want my name attached to killing this golden goose because right now that golden goose looks like it's being marinated and prepared.
Wow. Who doesn't love a good goose, too? That is everything. I'm sorry, that's Blue 88. It's not everything you need to know. We'll do that coming up in a few minutes. But
I was kind of throwing some analogies your way that kind of hit you between the eyes.
Well, the goose one. I wasn't expecting that much goose.
She's been feathered. She's been marinated.
Have you ever eaten goose?
Soaking. No,
me neither.
Never eaten foie gras. Was it foie gras?
I've had foie gras. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah. It's really good.
It kind of scares me.
Well, no. I mean, you have to like liver. If you like liver like I do, it's really, really good. Yeah, it's like a pate. It's awesome. Yeah, I would. I'm a fan. I would say I would put myself in the fan category.
Lyle, you ever had foie gras? How do you
foie gras?
Yeah, have you ever had that, Lyle?
I don't think so.
It's good.
No? Pate, liver. You ever had liver?
My grandma made me try it once. It was the single worst thing I've ever tried.
Spreadable meat is gross.
No, it's so good. I love liver. Love chopped liver. Love pate. Love foie gras. Lyle also liked the look of that $18 peanut butter and jelly sandwich I sent him, though, from Vegas. I think he's going to head down with me in a couple weeks and go check that out.
I could you just sense Lyle this morning.
In his anger?
Mad. Oh, he's so frustrated.
Do you want to let him talk about it?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
He was essentially silent the first. Not essentially. I don't think you cracked the mic the first hour.
Whoa, Maura. It wasn't just on the air. He wouldn't talk off the air for the first hour and a half we were here. We might have to explore that next on Brock and Salk.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
The voice of your Seattle Mariners, Aaron Goldschmidt, is here with us. Aaron, are you running out of things to say about Cal Raleigh?
It is a really fun struggle to have to try to frame his season in the proper context and to try to really present, truly at this point, as you know, historical examples for how one-of-a-kind this season is becoming for Cal Raleigh.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When businesses thrive, communities score.
That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA Club World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Collectors, Front Row Card Show is returning to Tacoma. Join us at the Greater Tacoma Convention Center on July 12th and 13th. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards, plus collectibles such as Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. Beckett, CGC, and JSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. More than 400 tables, thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show, Greater Tacoma Convention Center, Saturday and Sunday, July 12th and 13th, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com. That's frontrowcardshow.com.
Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Summer is the perfect time for a new roof. Take advantage of our easy financing, summer specials, and the best warranty in the business. Have a great summer. See you next hockey season. Trust Techline.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and we've been talking about this. Luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can book now for an unforgettable summer experience because the hotel opens up August 8th. Bookings are open at snocasino.com starting on August 8th. The expanded non-gaming floor, the destination spa, the big new entertainment space and convention center, new restaurants as well. They're combining effortless style with the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com for details. Seattle's closest, now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Upgrade your view and comfort with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Buy one window or door, get the second at 50% off through July, and enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. For details, visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, a couple more hours here. The Brock and Salk Show. Open phone lines at 9:30. G. Scott's already been in bothering us. He'll be here at 8:30 with a whole bunch to talk about as well. He's a little frustrated, I think, by those Mariner losses in New York City. He's not the only one. Lyle, essentially morose this morning, unable to speak for the first 2 hours he was in the building. It was a bad loss. I mean, it's awful. It's an awful, awful, awful loss. And it's a bad sweep, and it, I think, brings up a lot of wounds that were unhealed, right? A lot of raw, pussy wounds, because there are, I think, a legitimate fear that this team has done a lot of its damage against bad teams and has struggled a little bit against some of the best teams. And when you see them go into New York and knowing now what's ahead with Detroit and Milwaukee and Houston, yeah, I understand a lot of the concern this morning.
Oh, this is where you're throwing at me.
That's why I looked and pointed at you, but yeah.
He looked and pointed, Lyle.
I don't know how much more I need to do.
Coach Stanford on the stage last night or
Lyle.
yesterday when we were in install was like, hey, QBs, okay, no more of this waving, no more of this air traffic control. We just point, all right? And when Salk points at you, Lyle, it's time to perform, okay, like a puppet. How's your emotions this morning?
Dance
12
monkey.
hours later, 15 hours later.
My emotions?
Still hot?
I mean, I'd like to think of myself as a real glass half full guy, providing a voice of positivity for the people, so I'm doing great.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's who you are.
Is that how you feel others would describe you? That
Obviously.
have viewed your Mariners content?
Obviously.
Okay.
I don't know.
Why is this series or that game worse than any other bad loss?
I don't know if it's worse than any other bad loss, but this is the worst loss they've had all year, and it just all kind of blends into one overarching theme that I've had about this month for a while, and I've been circling these few series for a few weeks saying, you know, if this team really falls flat through these 4 series, they're in big trouble because they haven't had a stretch like this. And I understand when everything felt a little dead in the water after the sweep against the Diamondbacks that they came back a bit and won a few series against Cleveland, and they won a series against the Twins, and, you know, they had the good road trip, but those are middling teams that aren't all that fearsome. Going against the Yankees in New York, going against the Tigers in Detroit and facing Skubal, then having to come home and play the Astros and the Brewers, also to pile on top of an Angels series in Anaheim where you haven't won a series there in 2 years leading up to the deadline. This, like, I'm sorry, yeah, there are concerns that really jump out.
This has a little Seahawkian view to it, and not to make baseball football. This has a little Seahawks of 2025. Last night watching the QB documentary, they did a big slice of it was Jared Goff in the Monday night game against Seattle. Seattle was 3-0 going into that game. They were undefeated with the start of their season, but remember who it was. It was Bo Nix, and it was Jacoby Brissett, and it was, right, you got to feast on some teams and quarterbacks at that stage that were not very good. And then you got to watch them against Josh Allen and Jordan Love and Jared Goff, and they all had their way with them and did what they wanted. The Mariners, I believe, heading into that Yankees series, I had seen a graphic, had played the most games versus teams under 500. I believe in all of baseball. They were right there as far as the schedule through the first 90-some games of being able to play a lot of sub-500 baseball teams, whether they hit them in the schedule right or whether that's just, you know, the American League. But they had, and now they don't, and now they won't. And it's the Yankees, it's the Tigers, it's the Astros, it's the Brewers, and as Lyle said, even a trip to Anaheim.
You said the Yankees had the most games again. Did you mean the Mariners that had the most games?
The Mariners.
Okay, you said the Yankees. The Mariners have had the most games against sub-500 teams.
I believe I saw that correctly going into the Yankees series. Yeah.
Sorry, you said the Yankees. I was getting confused. Now I understand. Yeah, I think that's a part of it. I think all you guys, those are all good points. I'm not going to disagree with any of that. I mean, like, this was the fear coming into the season. This has been the fear at times during the season. I'm not going to disagree with you guys. I will add 2 things for context, and that's it. One, I think what Girardi said a few minutes ago is true. There are 5 games a year you lose, you should have won, and there are 5 games a year you win, you should have lost. And we've seen a few of both of those so far, not surprisingly, a little more than halfway through the season. That does happen over the course of a baseball season. It doesn't mean the season is over. It does mean that, you know, there is an element of that's baseball to it. Doesn't make it any easier to process or deal with in the moment, but it does happen to everybody, even the best teams in the league. 2, judging a team at its low point is probably just as unfair as judging them at their high point. So trying to make a long-term statement about who the Mariners are going to be for the next 3 months, the day after they, you know, lose a heartbreaker, I would probably caution anyone against doing that. And it will certainly back up feelings that you had beforehand or whatever. I get that. The only other thing I've fallen victim to it in the past. I'm trying not to do that today as well because I have concerns about this team as well. I'm not sitting here overly optimistic telling you that the Mariners are actually great and this was just an aberration. We've seen a lot of everything, which leads me to my second point, which is the real one. You know what the Mariners are? An inconsistent baseball team. They're not good. They're not bad. They are inconsistent. There are times where this team looks tremendous. When the pitching is on and you get to use your bullpen the way you want. I know last night it didn't work out, but the bullpen is a strength when you get to the leverage guys. When the lineup, when a couple guys get hot, and we were just talking about how it's happened, and Cal is a threat, and they can play aggressively, they look like a really good baseball team. And there are other nights where they look horrendous, where they can't hit, where they're flailing, where they're not able to get to their strengths, where if the starting pitching gives it up early, they're not able to come back because there's still too much swing and miss or whatever problems you have with this Mariner lineup. It's not deep enough, whatever. There are too many rookies. Julio's not playing up to snuff. Polanco sometimes is hurt. Both of those things are true. And ultimately, as we sit here, 90-plus games into the season, what does it tell me? They're inconsistent.
But is there anything that can fix that moving forward? I know we keep talking about getting to the trade deadline. If you want to know what my other fear here is, I don't know if the deadline is enough to fix the team. Even if you were to swing for the fences and get both Gino and Naylor, I honestly don't know how much it fixes because the market's thin. And I think the two biggest issues with the team right now is they can't pitch on the road and Julio's still not hitting. I don't know if two bats really fixes all this.
Yeah, I think bottom line for me, and I've been consistent with this, right, wrong, indifferent through my whole life, and part of it is my own experience. I didn't play my best against Sumner High School my senior year. Because of it, we were not 9-0, and because of it, we missed the playoffs. Did not play my best against Auburn High School in a playoff game my junior year of high school, and because of it, we lost. Your best players have to be their best when it matters the most. And Julio Rodriguez is the 136th best player in OPS over 93 games in baseball. He's hit one home run since the middle or end of May. I mean, that just can't. He's got an on base of 301. That just can't happen, or this team will continue to be wildly inconsistent and have stretches like this, Salk, where they get 6-7 games above 500 and then they get right back near 500, right? Their pitching should always keep them there or above with their starting pitching. But, you need your best players to be their best. And at some point, and if it doesn't happen over the course of the next 70 games for Julio, and he remains a 300 on-base guy and a 136th in baseball in OPS, this is probably not going to be a playoff kind of run baseball team.
Just along those lines, and this is not a criticism, but other than the home run, Cal was 0 in the series, right?
That's right. He had a nice 11 pitch at bat yesterday, and that certainly played a role in knocking Stroman out.
I'm not killing Cal Raleigh, but if what you just said is true, your best players need to play the best. You need more than a 1 for 12 or whatever it was for Cal in the series with one home run. You need him to be the guy. He is your guy, and if he has a couple of off days, you know what that tells me? It's why you generally don't judge a baseball team on 3 games because, what are you going to kill Cal for going 1 for 12? Because the next day he'll come out and hit 3 home runs. Look, things seem bad today. I'm not disagreeing with anyone who feels angry today. That's an awful loss and a terrible sweep, and the team didn't play particularly well throughout it. I'm not trying to play Pollyanna or overly optimistic or anything like that. They're inconsistent. The moment you give up is the moment they'll start playing some good ball, and the moment that you start thinking that maybe this team has got something, they suck you back in is the moment you're going to see series like this one. They're an inconsistent baseball team.
Look, and I'm happy to say it. If they get out of this July stretch and play well and win a couple of these big series against good teams, I'm happy to come on here.
And they could.
And they might. And I'm happy to come on here and eat crow. I'm just saying it's this specific stretch I've been circling, and I'm worried about it.
Brock's eating goose. You're eating crow. We'll be right back with Need to Know next.
Tuesday, the All-Star Fantastic Four.
Holy smokes!
Andres, Brian, Julio, and Cal.
Number 34 for the big dumper.
Hear the Mariners All-Stars in the 2025 All-Star Game. Tuesday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They're here 24/7. 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland have that new car you've been looking for. With the power of choice, drive the sleek hybrid Camry leasing as low as $299 a month, the dependable Corolla, or the electric Prius leasing at just $309 a month. If you're headed to the ballpark or cruising I-5 from the north or the south, visit Toyota of Renton or Kirkland or shop online at toyotaofrenton.com and toyotaofkirkland.com. Offers valid through August 4th, 2025. Excludes taxes, license, and negotiable $200 dealer documentation fee. See dealership for details.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish CyberKnife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we don't just promise to get the job done, we back it up. No travel charge, no show-up fee, no overinflated pricing, and no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional each and every day. O'Neill Plumbing.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and we've been talking about this. Luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can book now for an unforgettable summer experience because the hotel opens up August 8th. Bookings are open at snocasino.com starting on August 8th. The expanded non-gaming floor, the destination spa, the big new entertainment space and convention center, new restaurants as well. They're combining effortless style with the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com for details. Seattle's closest, now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Crank up the hits and bring on the boom. It's 80s fireworks night at T-Mobile Park. Get ready for a totally tubular show on Friday, July 18th. Presented by T-Mobile. The Mariners face off against the division rival Astros at 7:10. And after the game, the sky will light up to the sound of your favorite 80s jams. Big hits on the field and more big hits after dark.
Grand slam! Julio takes it deep and clears them off.
Mariners baseball, fireworks, and hair metal? Sounds like a rad night. Lock in your seats now at Mariners.com and check out what else is on deck at the ballpark this summer, including 3 straight value games against the Brewers, July 21st through 23rd. And the next Mariners fireworks show on August 1st.
Goodbye, baseball. He does it again. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, it started so great. Brian Wu, phenomenal. 7 no-hit innings. Got away from him in the 8th. Give up a run. Another couple runs. Another couple runs to tie it in the 9th. You get to the bottom of the 10th.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on, lifted center field. Julio in. It's not that deep. Julio makes the catch. Here's Volpe tagging the throw home. It's on the money. The tag applied. He is safe. He is safe. And the Yankees win on a sac fly from Aaron Judge.
It was a rocket. It was a really good throw. It's
It really
just
was.
unfortunate it was on the left-handed batter's box. Because if it was to the right side,
yeah, a
you
foot.
know,
But I mean that's a heck of a. I don't know how much
That's
more
a
you
good
can
throw.
ask for. That is a near perfect throw on the fly from that spot. I was
just
surprised he
Cal had
tagged.
to- yeah.
I was surprised he went. I thought Volpe would wait. I was a little surprised, but I guess you got to force everything to be perfect. And he's got some speed and some hustle, and he got off to the side. It was a really good slide. And, he's 2 inches away from being out. Instead, he's safe, and that's your ball game. You can't pitch. You can't get it. I'm sorry, man. You can't get into a spot where Aaron Judge is up with the bases loaded in the 10th inning. You got to find a way to avoid that. And that's on the manager, that's on the pitcher, that's on everybody. You got to find a way to avoid being in that
And
spot.
to think you'd even be in that situation after 1 out in the 8th inning with a no-hitter going.
Yeah.
Up 5-0.
Yeah, that's just a huge bummer and a lot of frustration, understandable today. Seeing a lot of it on the text machine. Canzone had a multi-hit night, 3 hits for him, 2 for Cole Young, home run for Jorge Polanco, but just an ugly, ugly, tough loss in New York. Red Sox win. Mariners now a game out in the wild card. Houston off, so the deficit is 7 in the West.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All-Star Week nearly upon us, so we'll get a chance to see Brian Wu there. Cal said this about what he expects and hopes for Brian Wu. This was during the Cal Raleigh show with Shannon Dreyer yesterday with Wyman and Bob.
I mean, hopefully same thing I take from it. Try to talk to some guys, enjoy it, take it all in, maybe get the experience of getting out there on the mound during the game. So I think it'll be great for him to be around, some of the best in the world and to talk to them and pick their brains and, just enjoy that moment with him and his family.
Girardi made a bunch of really good points. And to peel the curtain back for our audience, they love it when we do this, Salk. Mora was like, I love that interview. I could cut the whole thing in 7 minutes because he gave short answers, versus a lot of the other folks we have on that will give 2, 3, 4 minute answers.
That's
And
the
Mora's
best. The interview's great. It's just
trying to
very
figure out
long
when-
answers when you're trying to make them concise.
Not
when
fun to
stop and
cut.
start it. But Joe talked about one of the things that he loved, and I'm sure these players do, is heading to Seattle in August and September. You know why, Salk? Because there's no humidity. It can be 90 degrees, and I know we've got a heat wave coming to Seattle, and we make headlines of it. There's no humidity. You go to the South, where Lyle's headed, where Cal's headed, where Woo's headed, where Andres is headed, to Atlanta for this All-Star game where it's 90 and 90 humidity, and it is suffocating. Yeah, you do appreciate the Pacific Northwest in these summer months, certainly.
Cal be in the Derby down there. His competitors, Buxton, Caminero, Acuna, Chisholm, Rooker, Cruz, and Wood.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Finally, ESPN ranking tight ends. No Seahawks in the top 10. None in the honorable mentions. None in the receiving votes. So they are 0 for 22 there. The NFC West, though, did have George Kittle at number 2 and Trey McBride in Arizona at number 4. So,
Was it my namesake, number 1?
Brock Bowers? Yes, he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You like the name Brock, by the way?
Yeah, of
On a
course.
personal. No, it's like on a personal level. I've been the Brock and Salk show for like almost 17 years.
Yeah.
What do you think of the name Brock?
I think it's a good name.
There weren't many Brocks out there 30 years ago, and you realize that. There was a Lou Brock.
Yeah.
So there's
I think it's very it's a very masculine name.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a very strong forehead name, right?
I don't know that that's something that jumps out to me, but it's a strong name. I mean, it's a very masculine, it's got some edge to it, I think.
Thanks.
Just like you. You're a very edgy guy.
Titus.
Titus is a strong masculine name as well. Maybe excessively so. Maybe you're covering up for something. I don't know. It's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here in the Brock and Salk Show. So you're going to be out a couple days next week, Monday, Tuesday.
Yes.
I'm kind of excited about two people I think I'm going to get to talk to. Monday for sure, and Tuesday we'll see. So just to give people a little preview. Monday morning, 7:30, Maura? Monday morning, 7:30. Yes. Johnny Bench is going to be on the show.
What?
Yeah. You're going to miss Johnny Bench. You sure you want to go away fishing? Because Johnny Bench is going to be on the show. We're going to talk Cal Raleigh. Obviously, that's the reason we're having him on. And then he's also got the Johnny Bench Awards, right, for young catchers and stuff. So we'll talk to Johnny Bench about all of that.
And I've been communicating with his son. I told him that one of the hosts is a big fan of the baseball bunch.
Oh,
Might want to bring that up.
Well, I will guarantee you that I will ask him about the baseball bunch. For those who don't know, Google the baseball bunch. When I was a kid, early 80s, I watched the baseball bunch every Saturday, and Johnny Bench was the host of that, and he would lead a bunch of kids through baseball drills and stuff. The San Diego Chicken was there, and the Wizard, Tommy Lasorda. So I apologize in advance. In addition to all the Cal stuff, I'm definitely going to spend a couple minutes on the baseball bunch because 5-year-old Mike would not forgive me if I didn't. So that's just going to happen. I'm just telling you now. Tuesday, and I think also on Monday, I think Hawk blogger Brian Nemhauser may be in for an hour or so. So I gotta confirm all that up with him. Tuesday, Shannon Dreyer is going to come in for a bit, and I think it's not confirmed yet. We're trying to get Jim Abbott. So you guys know how much Jim Abbott means to me. We talked to him 5 or 6 years, 7 years ago now. It was on my 40th birthday that we talked to Jim Abbott. And he's a hero of mine, obviously a huge influence in my life since I lost a lot of the use of my hand when I was 12, and he was born without his, and he found his way to the major leagues. I did not, but at least I found myself a way back to playing baseball, and he was very, very influential in my mind in doing that. So that was awesome to talk to him. He's got an E60 documentary coming out Sunday on ESPN. So I got my DVR set already for that. Going to watch that on Sunday night and hoping to talk to him. I think we're trying to do it on Tuesday. Don't have it set yet, but that would be awesome. And he's, again, just remember how great he was as a guest when he came on?
That was awesome.
He was just so cool. He read the story I had written about it. Dude, he made me feel very good. So those are a couple things to expect next week. And then Joe Buck
on Wednesday.
Yeah,
we'll bring Joe Buck back.
All right, so anybody who's thinking it's like kind of a lame All-Star week. Yeah, that's a pretty good week for All-Star week.
Yep.
No thanks to Lyle and Maura who are ditching us for the entirety. No, I'm just kidding. Maura has already helped on this, and Lyle is going to be at the All-Star game. Lyle, are you going to join us from Atlanta?
If you want me to. I don't know how much I can provide insight-wise, but I'll join the show.
Should we check in with TJ instead? I don't know. You don't sound very comfortable or confident about that.
I'm happy to call in.
That doesn't sound like, of course, I'd love to be a part of it. We'll call TJ.
I think only if he calls in his screaming Lyle, like when he interviewed those people about what they know as 24-year-olds.
Are you going to lose your voice the way you did at the winter meetings?
No, because there's not going to be some ASU game before.
Oh, okay, that was the problem the last time. All right, G. Scott's coming in next, and then we'll have phone calls at 9:30. That is going to be quite the scene today. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Jordan Schusterman every Wednesday morning at 11 with Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports.
How do you foresee this rotation shaping out before the All-Star break?
I certainly don't think that's the last we will see of Emerson Hancock this season. I will be interested to see if Logan Evans can make a push to replace him at some point, how they kind of go back and forth between both of those guys. I think from a workload standpoint, I have to imagine they want to be a little bit more careful with Evans.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Ed, who suffered a neck injury in a highway pileup.
Had a bulge disc in my neck. It was pinching my spinal cord, so reached out to Rob. It was amazing. Their whole team were honest and kept me informed, like they were actually interested in helping me, not just a number. I'm very pleased with the outcome. I would definitely choose these guys again any time of the week.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
Introducing frequent flights between Boeing Field and a private terminal at Portland Airport. Seaport Airlines is transforming travel with convenience, comfort, and free parking just steps from your plane. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com. Upgrade your view and comfort with Lake Washington windows and doors. Buy one window or door, get the second at 50% off through July, and enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. For details, visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Do you find yourself searching the medicine cabinet for pills and sprays during allergy season? How about having to buy one more medication when the season hits? I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. We offer a solution that will save you time, money, and frustration. Ryanair is a simple, minimally invasive procedure that significantly reduces postnasal drip and stuffiness. We're taking new patients in Federal Way and in Auburn. Come see us. Book your appointment at sternsinus.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new Comcast Business customers can find out how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Early termination fee applies.
Do you know a woman that gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Shannon Dreyer here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help in finding her. Nominations for the 4th Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at woiseattle.org.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
The perfect night out this summer is under the stars at the drive-in movies. Enjoy classic films, cool cars, and unforgettable memories, all from the comfort of your own ride at the LeMay America's Car Museum Movie Nights. Bring the kids, pack snacks, and tune in for fun. The next showing is Transformers on July 27th. LeMay Drive-In Movies, where the big screen meets the open road. Space is limited, so reserve now at americascarmuseum.org.
The Everett 3-on-3 basketball tournament presented by Boeing is here. If you've registered, head to the tournament July 12th and 13th. Not a player? Not a problem. Grab popcorn and a seat at Boeing Center Court. Watch and participate in the Tulalip Resort Casino Slam Dunk Contest, Snohomish County Sports Commission 3-point shot contest, and Everett Downtown Storage Skills Challenge. There's something for everyone at the 3-on-3 in downtown Everett. See you this weekend.
Well, this is pretty fun for me. Normally, Shannon O'Kelly and I are talking physical therapy, but today we are talking First Mark Insurance. You made the call to First Mark. You took the challenge. Why?
Brock, I was looking for a local agency that I could align with similar values, and they've helped us here at IRG. They shop different plans. They find the best plan for you, the best price, the best coverage, great customer service, and great connectivity.
Did they save you any money along the way?
Absolutely saved us money. Obviously, here at IRG, I have several needs in the insurance industry, and they look at those needs A to Z, and they find out what kind of coverage you need, what is the best coverage, at what cost, and they're always looking to save money. And again, it's all about providing my company, IRG, great customer service.
Well, Shannon and IRG, they took the challenge. Molly and I, we took the challenge. Are you confident that your business is getting the very best when it comes to your insurance needs? If not, take the First Mark Challenge today, and it's totally free. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com, your teammate that goes to work for you. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Man, I feel like I haven't heard this music in forever. Where you been? I feel like I haven't seen you. Oh, wait, it's me. I've been out. What's up?
Last week when you was gone, we were showing you love.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you got a lot of love.
We were, but you made Brian uncomfortable too, G.
I know.
We're talking about delegations.
We was talking about delegations.
Yeah, that'll do
I
it.
was trying to figure out what delegation you were in. So
Brian was or G?
No, G knew what delegation you were. And of course, G asked about his delegation representation at the wedding and everything. I said
They
it
were
was
represented.
fine.
Yeah.
They were, and then, we said Salk was the only one representing his delegation,
Yeah.
and you should have seen the Ivy Leaguer. It was like Brian Walters' head popped off his body as he was trying to figure out.
I'm sure there were no Jews at Cornell, so I'm sure it's the first time I've ever thought of that.
You said that.
I'm just kidding.
Now, did Brian
Probably a
Walt,
few.
did B. Walt, did he say anything during that
Probably
segment?
not. He knows what's good for him. He wants to, keep his reputation. Why would he? He doesn't want to get too involved in that.
Now, I don't know.
Why are you guys showing me love?
Because, like we always say about you, when you go to a party, when you are not here at the studio, you're one of the most lovable people in the world, especially when you have had an adult beverage. You know what I mean? And also, we were both talking about how, like, the older you get, the better looking you're getting.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it was a love fest.
It sounds like it. I'm sorry I missed it. It sounds pretty good.
The reason why
this is what my funeral is going to be like one day. It's like getting a chance to hear it.
I'm trying to delay this conversation because I'm going to tell y'all something, y'all. I don't know what y'all was doing yesterday, but I was doing my chores around the house, and I've been watching the Mariners. And you guys know I have been really on the Mariners bandwagon all season long. But I need help from y'all. Yesterday broke me. It broke me yesterday. And here's what yesterday was like. It'd be one thing you go and you on the weekends, Brock, you keep texting her, right? You keep texting her, and on Fridays and Saturday nights, she don't return your text. And then on Sundays, hey, how you doing? But you kind of know something's going on funny on Friday, Saturday nights. Man, but last night was you saw her at the club and she went home with your homeboy. It hurt yesterday.
I'm not going to try to talk you out of the pain. It obviously hurts. Here's what former manager Joe Girardi said. He won 3 World Series as a catcher, won 1 more as a manager, and here's what he said about it.
You try to be the same, and you continue to encourage because it's a long year. I look at the Yankees. They went to Toronto. They lost 4. They lost.
Wait, that's the wrong one. This is the one I want. Here you go.
It's baseball. Every once in a while, your back end of your bullpen's going to have a bad day, and the Yankees had some good at-bats. And I heard something talking about on the radio station here in New York that somebody was tipping. I'm not sure if that was true, but it just happens. You're going to have, during the course of the season, 5 games you probably shouldn't win, and 5 games you should win, and it's going to end up the opposite. And I think that's what happened to Seattle last night. You put Seattle in that situation 50 times, they're probably going to win that game 49.
That make you feel any better?
No. and I'll tell you, Brock, you want to know what doesn't make me feel better? Is I'm hurting. There's a lot of people hurting, and then you come in and you got that one friend, Mike Salk, that's like, oh, hey, that's just baseball. You got that one friend like, hey, man, I saw my lady go home with my homeboy at the club. Oh, that's all right. That's just how the game goes. Nah, bro.
Not really, though. Those two things are not the same.
Yeah, it is.
That is a bad analogy.
That's not a bad analogy.
Yeah, it really is.
Do you think these club analogies are good for Salk and I? So when was the last? Did you ever go clubbing?
No.
I think I went to the Down Under one time with Molly in college. The Down Under isn't even there anymore in Belltown, is it? Is the Down Under still down there?
I don't never go to clubs.
No, it's not. Wait, Brock, you never went to the club before Molly,
No.
bro?
No.
Hold on, wait. I am on the radio right now with 2 people who never went to the club. You never met a girl at the club?
No.
Nope. Never went.
Couldn't. How would I? How would I meet a girl at the club? I can't dance and I'm ugly. Like what possible reason would there be for me to go to a club?
Lyle, you ever been clubbing? Lyle, you a big club guy? You been clubbing?
Do you count Mill Avenue and Tempe as clubs? I mean, they're bars.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay, Old Town Scottsdale, does that count?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the extent of it. If it's anything above that, no.
Real quick, 253 says, quick question from the people. What the hell are you wearing? I know you're a stylish dude, but I just don't get it today. Hey, no. Hear me out. Hey, 253, the reason why I'm responding to your text, thank you, man. I took a shower this morning after my workout, and I put this on, and I said, this is the worst outfit I have ever worn in my entire life. So, hey, 253, listen, thank you for calling me out. This outfit is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, nasty. When I leave here, this whole combo, and you should see my pants. I mean, the pants, good Lord.
It's a lot of brown. I don't. Whoa! Don't hurt yourself.
Look at this. I mean, this is terrible. What the hell am I wearing?
If you're watching on YouTube,
this is the worst in the world. I mean, Mike Salk has never dressed this terrible, and he dressed terrible every day. So 253, you for the people, man. I apologize because this is some horrible
what
stuff.
made you think it would work?
I don't know. I said this.
Do you think you get to a point where you wear so much outlandish crap that at some point you say, I can just throw on anything and it'll work?
I don't like to do that. I like to kind of give effort every time. But I don't understand what I was thinking with this combo.
There's a lot going on.
I went brown. I just look like a walking steamy pile of, you know what I'm saying?
You look like a UPS driver.
What can brown do for you?
What are the shoes? Do you at least have cool? Usually, you at least have cool shoes.
Listen.
Are the shoes even bad?
The shoe combo is awful too.
Let me see.
I got some Jordans.
Well, I can only see the bottom now. Yeah. I mean, those shoes are okay.
It's terrible, man. This outfit is terrible. So, man, but you know what? You need 253. You need friends like that in your life. Do y'all have friends like that to be like, hey, man, I love you, but what the hell you wearing?
See how the 253 responded, said you got hide on your pants and you should just hide the whole outfit.
Hey, but here's the thing, though. 253, look up Hyde. Look up Hyde brand. HYDE, Hyde. It's actually a real brand. I just killed the outfit, man.
Maybe it's just the shirt. Maybe you just got to go one simple thing with the three loud things around it.
All right, man. Let's get off this
That's kind of analogous. That's a good
up.
analogy to the Yankee series. That was a bad series. Seriously. To get swept, to go on the road, the 6-game road trip before the All-Star game, after a really nice homestand, and you're 6 games up. You were looking good yesterday, G. And then, you know what? Unfortunately, you put it together. And by the way, Wu was so good. That's the other bummer in this. For 7 1/3, he was so good. He was your stopper. He was everything you needed. So everything we talked about going into that game. This is your all-star. He's your stud this year. And then he goes out and shoves for 7 1/3. And there is no way you're thinking at 5-0 you're losing that game last night. There is no way when he came out.
I swear to you, I did not think that.
Really?
Of course not, because I've watched more than 2 games in Yankee Stadium. What is wrong with you guys? Have you never watched games in Yankee Stadium? They're not over until they're over, every single time. With that building and that stadium and that lineup and everything else, those games end when they end. I'm sorry, that's why I don't like. I just
whoa, real quick. You mean to tell me, when my man when Brian Wu was out there and he goes 5-6 innings, no hits, you didn't think? You was like, oh, you know what? It's not over till it's over.
Yes.
I knew in my heart, everything in me, I knew it was on.
Okay.
I knew I got the phone number. You know what I'm saying?
You and I had very different childhoods. My childhood taught me that game was not over until the final out was recorded.
You've had some heartbreaks.
Yes, of course. I hate that freaking stadium. I hate that team. I hate everything about them, and I've seen this too many times. I'm sorry, man. Like, I can't allow myself to think that way about a game in that little bandbox with that short porch in right field, with that lineup, with the forget it. I'm sorry. I don't think that way.
Can you guys kick me out early today?
Yes. Why?
Because I'm getting.
You go get changed.
I'm
you
getting.
gotta go change. All right, look, can we talk about something else?
But I'm getting destroyed. The text line is killing me.
Well, you stood up to show them how awful your outfit was.
360 says G's outfit looks like it comes with a fishing pole. Come on, man. Y'all killing me right now. All right, what you got?
All right. Well, let's see. We'll get away from the Mariners for a little bit. There's plenty of time left for that. And 9:30, we'll have open phone lines. Where are you at with the Seahawks? We've been playing or kind of going through a lot of these lists and numbers, and this is ranking season, which is sort of a silly season in the NFL. But, B- from ESPN on the offseason, in and of itself, not bad, but the rest of the division all got A's. 30th offensive line, according to Pro Football Focus. 19th rated offense, according to ESPN. We're going through the top 10s every day here with ESPN's top 10 position list. And it was nice to see Julian Love at number 10. And it was nice to see the Big Cat on there at number 6. But short of that, there's not going to be a lot of Seahawks anywhere in the top 10. The national media does not like this team very much.
No.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I mean, it's always better to under-promise and over-deliver. So the Seahawks are in a good situation there. I just think that the questions that we have, the question marks that some might have, come down to the offense, number one. I think we can all agree that the defense looks pretty good on paper. We feel confident in the defense. Obviously, Mike McDonald being a defensive-minded type coach. I'm a little nervous when it comes to the offense. I'm a little nervous when it comes to is Sam Darnold going to be the quarterback that the Seahawks need. But more importantly, the one thing that really stands out to me is the offensive line and PFF, Pro Football Focus, and ranking them 30th out of 32 going into the season. They don't feel like the Seahawks have done enough to get this offensive line rolling. And by the way, it's not just personnel when it comes to offensive line. Sometimes offensive line comes down to continuity. Offensive line comes down to scheme. It comes down to all different things. But the one thing that stands out, if you guys remember last season, the current offensive coordinator, when he was offensive coordinator for the Saints last season, the Saints were rolling. They were, rolling until they faced the Philadelphia Eagles. What happened in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles? Their center, the Saints center, Eric McCoy, remember that? He went down. Mm-hmm. When he went down, the Saints were never the same. And so what I am bringing up right now is this. While we're talking about offensive line all the time, a lot of things, and Brock, you help me out with this, a lot of things are contingent on the center. You got to have a dog right there at that center position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they come in kind of different shapes and sizes. That's the one, Robbie Tobeck and Max Unger. When you look at the two most identifiable, personality-rich, personnel kind of driven teams, we chatted about this in Blue 88G, and I had some Sonny Dyke sound of all people down at TCU, but just talking about that personality of an offensive line and that group, that organization within the organization is so hypercritical to a team's success.
Well, then it's a good thing they ignore it every year.
No, they actually drafted Gray Zabel 18 as high as any offensive guard since Steve Hutchinson.
And that's one when they needed 3.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm
G,
never
were
gonna
you
get
down there? Can you help me dispel a rumor or not? I kind of heard a little rumor about you, and you can dispel it. It may be totally wrong, and you know how rumors are. They get started, get flamed. Were you helping film Bradford's rap video? Were you part of that production or not?
First of all, I didn't even think anybody knew about the video, the rap. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm getting older. I think that there used to be a time in my life, maybe when the last era of Seahawks.
Back when you were clubbing.
And by the way, I've been on some of these boats. They just didn't have any cameras.
when you weren't doing chores on a Thursday night.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't want, because I know there's going to be somebody saying, well, G is the last person who wants to talk about somebody on the boat. I've been in many boats. I've been in many situations where when you see the video of Bradford and they're just, air quotes, having a good time. However, my thing is that right now, young Bradford, that is not the time to do that. That should have never been shown, because right now you got Pro Football Focus ranking the Seahawks offensive line at 30th on the heels of seeing that video. And there was a lot of salt shakers and pepper shakers, all shaking, seasoning all around the boat.
Sorry, Brock's laughing so hard that it's making me laugh. I don't know.
Brock, what? I mean, I'm just saying, there was a lot of salt and pepper shakers.
There was a lot of something going on that boat. How did you think the rapping was?
It was awful.
Oh, see, now that's insult to injury.
No, but then again, I am getting towards a certain age. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all.
Yeah.
Most rap is awful today. It's not the rap of back in our day. It's not the rap. If you're listening right now, any of y'all used to have to sneak and listen to rap, you know what I'm saying, because you don't want your parents to. That was some good stuff. It was worth getting in trouble for. It was worth getting in for KRS-One and Nas and all of them back in the day. What the hell is this today? Mumble, salt and pepper shaker. Mumble, salt and pepper shaker.
Lyle, are you going to take this? You like a lot of this new rap. Are you going to take this from G?
I love it. I mean, no, I love all this new stuff. You don't like any of it?
No! It's all terrible.
No, it isn't.
It's all terrible. And then we got, I mean, especially now, break down the lyrics of what's being talked about. Oh, Lord. Okay, look, I sound old right now.
I'm sorry.
But it fits your outfit, so it's fine.
Oh, man.
You can use the breakdown the lyrics thing about anything. People like country music. What are they talking about in every country song? It's the same three things.
I don't think you're going to get a lot of
let me tell you
argument here on that.
No, I mean, like, and I don't even mind country music. I'm just saying.
No. First of all, that is a slap at country music. Country music is cool. If you play it backwards, you get your wife back, you get your house back, you get your dog back, your neighbor is not hanging out with your wife. That's what you get when you play country backwards. You feel me?
Now, will you listen to the new Clips album that came out?
No.
No?
No, but
Why?
I will be listening to some reggae music, because as you know, your boy going to be MC and hosting reggae on the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, tomorrow.
All right, so I got a couple other texts here I got to address. We got one text saying congratulations to G Jr.
Yeah.
What happened?
Man, that dude got engaged.
What?
Yeah.
Does he not know your history with this? What? Does he not learn from the sins of the father?
Well, first of all,
how many times you been engaged?
Hey, man, you know what? This has been the most G. Scott disrespected show in the world.
Really?
You talking about my marriages. You on the text line talking about my outfits.
You brought up the outfit, and you were killing me earlier. How dare you?
Yeah.
How many times you been engaged?
Hey, man.
A few.
So let's go back to my son, Brock.
Yes.
My son
That
got
is so
engaged to
You
his
know I love
beautiful
that.
girlfriend, Olivia. It was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. He had it all set up. The crazy part is that what makes him different than me, this dude had it planned out before winning a national championship. Like, this has been planned out for over 7 months.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So that was pretty cool. And the cool thing is he had it all planned. She was shocked, surprised. It happened, and he made sure nobody was to post any video until he makes the announcement.
Pretty cool.
He made the announcement.
Oh, congratulations to you and your whole family. That's
You know
pretty
your
great.
boy. You know your boy getting old.
That's pretty good. Joseph in the 360 says, no, I just really noticed G's outfit. Kind of looks like Rick Ross when shopping at the Duck Dynasty store.
Joseph, man. hey, you know what? I deserve this.
Yeah, you do.
This outfit is so bad. Wait, Mara, your thoughts on my outfit today?
I think without the hat, you're okay.
Yeah, the hat's awful, too.
Well, take it off. I mean, the other things, you can't take off the shirt. You can take off the hat.
The thing is...
What's wrong with the hair?
See, I'm going to get a haircut. My hair is all messed up.
So you usually wear like a lot of color, but it doesn't, I don't know, it all goes together. This one just clashes a little. That's all. I don't think it's the worst outfit.
I tell you, people don't tune in to Brock and Salk to hear people bang on my outfits.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. Would you guys agree that this is bad radio?
No, I think it's actually some of the best radio we've done all day. I think it's some of the best we've had.
Can I also say, I'm going to circle this back with just sprinkle in a little salt and pepper, a little bit of football back into this.
Okay.
For the first time in some time, you know what? If Anthony Bradford comes into camp out of shape, if Anthony Bradford ain't all committed, if Anthony Bradford's focus isn't there, guess what? Anthony Bradford ain't a Seahawk. Like Christian Haynes will be here, LaMea will be here, the 6th-round pick from Kansas going to be here. Like, for the first time in a long time, they legitimately have some competition at the line of scrimmage they've not had in years past, G.
Yeah.
So PFF can rank them number 30. We could still hammer them for the moves they didn't make in the offseason. We can do all of that. I can say confidently, for the first time, they've got more bigger athletes at the line of scrimmage with more competition than they've had in 4, 5, 6 years. And to me, that portends to be some pretty good things.
Before I go, what are you all super excited about with this team? Give me one thing that you're super excited about with this Seahawks team coming up this season.
Identity. I think they got a very clear identity. I think last year at this time, Mike McDonald didn't know what he wanted to be as a head coach. We asked Joe Girardi about Dan Wilson and what's it like to be a first-time manager, and you just got to figure out what your niche is. Mike McDonald's figured himself out. He's moved out all the people that are not Mike McDonald kind of people, maybe save for 1 or 2 that are still hanging around this roster, and we'll see what training camp brings. But they have an identity, man. They're going to play defense. They're going to be violent. They're going to want to run the football. They're going to be unapologetic about it. And for the first time in a while, I feel pretty good about that identity.
Why are you so quiet today, Salk? I don't understand. Your boss lady just walked by. She just looked at my fit.
She needed to see your outfit.
Man,
She had to come down and see what you were wearing.
She came down from downstairs because she wanted to see it for herself.
And who can blame her? I mean, look at this. It's quite the scene. Actually, I was just looking for something. I'd lost it, but somebody had. I was gonna end on what was a great text, but now I can't find it. It essentially said, "Gee, don't worry. Just add a monocle to that look, and you're gonna be good to go."
I look. Hey, I promise all of you, I will come back. I mean, the next time I come in, I'm going to come in and I'm going to way make up for this.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out one of my.
Please do, because this is sad. This is sad. I don't like to see you this way. I feel like it's not really you. I don't like to see you this way.
This
so
was
try
like
to fix
watching
this.
Griffey at 42, right?
Yeah.
Trying to run the bases.
It's
like,
just sad. It's just not. It's just not what you do, man. So try to get it together. Congrats to Baby G.
Is this the worst outfit you see me in?
No.
In 10 years?
They're all the same to me, but it looks just. If you don't like it, then you should probably change it because you don't have your normal confidence today, and it's quite frankly hurting our show.
My outfit is like the Mariners ended of that game. It's just terrible.
It's just baseball. All right, there you go. Goodbye, G. His show with Ursula starts in a few minutes over on 97.3 Cairo News Radio. We'll be back with Lyle's final Lyle draft profile as he gets us ready for the person he hopes the Mariners will take with the number 3 pick on Sunday. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and SeattleSports.com.
He's the southpaw from down under, Ryan Roland Smith with Wyman and Bob.
What was your reaction to Julio making the All-Star squad?
Julio going to the All-Star game is nothing but great. It's good for his confidence. I would say J.P. Crawford had a bigger case at shortstop than Julio did at center field to make the All-Star game. When you have a leadoff hitter with the on-base that he has, I thought J.P. had a bigger case.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman joined by Dr. Daniel Landis from Swedish CyberKnife. Dr. Landis, when treating prostate cancer, what can patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate.
Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me.
Our strategy with pricing is not to be
the highest price and not to be the lowest price, but to be a really good price and to provide a really good experience to the customer.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. Afterwards, to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of like candies and fruits and stuff. It was just really sweet. Really like, it felt like we were truly helping.
Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or a service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
You hear it from one person, and then another, and another. You come to realize it's not a script, it's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Upgrade your view and comfort with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Buy one window or door, get the second at 50% off through July, and enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. For details, visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Summer is the perfect time for a new roof. Take advantage of our easy financing, summer specials, and the best warranty in the business. Have a great summer. See you next hockey season. Trust Techline.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day out for baseball here at T-Mobile Park.
Home. Home is where you gather. With friends. With family.
Ball to right field. It continues. Jorge Polanco.
Sometimes even folks you don't know. But in a way, you do. Because you share at least one thing in common. And one thing can be pretty powerful when it's multiplied by 40,000.
Everybody on their feet here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Welcome home.
The next Mariners homestand gets started with an AL West showdown against the Astros July 18th to 20th. Don't miss your chance to catch Cal and the crew square off against their division rivals at T-Mobile Park. Then it's 3 straight Mariners value games versus the Brewers, July 21st to 23rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right,
right, final hour of our week here on Brock and Salk. Oh my gosh, what a day for open phone lines at 9:30. We'll see where that goes. 866-979-3776. Before we do it, though, the Mariners lucked into the number 3 overall pick in the draft on Sunday, and Lyle has been getting us ready by profiling some of the best options potentially available for the Mariners at number 3. We call it Lyle Draft Profile. And today we get to our final name.
Final one. And before I get to number 1, I do just want to throw out a couple honorable mentions and a couple other names people can keep an eye out for when the
Wouldn't
draft
be the Brock and
rolls around.
Salk show without some honorable mentions.
No, of course not. Plus, just keeping the people informed. And we didn't have enough time to get to everybody. So if you want a couple extra names that you should keep an eye out for that'll be at the top of this draft, Eli Willits is a guy we didn't get to. High school kid. He's the son of Reggie Willits. He's a really good athlete. Does everything well. Doesn't have really one thing that jumps out over the rest. But again, good athlete, pretty high floor despite being a high school kid. JoJo Parker, another high school bat who can really hit. And then the one college arm we won't get to is a guy by the name of Liam Doyle from Tennessee, who, man, he's got a big fastball and he is a psycho on the mound. And it's fun to watch. He will scream and yell and roar and get all fired up.
Sounds fun.
I don't know. I think he's fun. These Tennessee guys, they're a polarizing team, and I think they're really fun. I think Salk and I would be more on the same boat of the Liam Doyle.
Sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, Brock, did you even know who this guy was an hour ago?
I borderline knew who he was. The Tennessee the whole baseball thing kind of just it's anti.
Yeah, Brock doesn't like him because he transferred or something.
Oh, I mean, he's just been all
he doesn't
over
like
the
transfers.
place. He's been all over the place. I don't know.
He's good. He's got a big fastball. Again, if we had time for a 6th profile, I would have done him. We don't have time to get to him because we got number 1 today, and today it's going to be about the best fit.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers! Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
You like that?
Do, yeah.
Good.
Oh, you like that? Kirk Cousins, you like that?
Yeah.
Hey, Brock, sack fumble.
So just like Brock did when he was doing his NFL draft profiles, who talked about a lot of guys and guys that are fun and guys that have some really high ceilings and some good potential, like we've done all week with a bunch of guys.
But who was my number 1?
Number 1 was the guy that made the most sense in Gray Zabel, who they ended up taking. And that's what I'm going to do here. Who is the guy that makes the most sense for the Mariners at 1? I figured Brock would be looking forward to getting to this one. Kade Anderson, the fastest riser in the draft this year, shot himself onto the national stage by every account during the College World Series, and he was already a good prospect by then, but that really took him a step above. And I could sit here and talk to you about how the guy's got a really good 4-pitch mix and a fastball that gets up to 97 and this baby sweeper he has that has some really short bite to it that really gets a lot of swing and miss, 4-pitch profile. I could talk to you about all that. There's honestly things about Kade Anderson that even go beyond the physical stuff and the command that he has that I think are pretty cool. Number 1, I think he responds to adversity well. So let me give you a couple of examples. He got lit up a few times this year, just like most pitchers do. You have your off starts, right, throughout the course of a season. And let me kind of take you through what happened after that. So he allowed 4 home runs in a start earlier in the year to Mississippi State. That was back in March. How does he respond the next outing? He goes into Norman, into Oklahoma, complete game shutout, 14 punch-outs. He also gave up a few home runs in a game to Alabama. That was in April. He responds the next start, 7 1/3 innings, 2 runs, 11 punch-outs going up against Tennessee, and Liam Doyle being his counterpart in that game. Again, Anderson goes 7 1/3, really, really pitched well. And most notably, he gets into the Super Regional against West Virginia. Did not have a good outing. Gave up 6 runs in a big game for LSU, went on to win the national title. Didn't have his best outing. What does he do in the College World Series? Did he let it spiral? Did he let it kind of continue over? No, because he went out and dominated against Arkansas with 7 innings, a 1-run ball. And then, of course, how does he cap it off? The start he's now famous for. 130 pitches, 9 innings, no runs, 10 strikeouts, complete game shutout in the College World Series final. With that start, now propelling him from what was already a good prospect to potentially the top of this draft. I think that's pretty cool. Like, this is a guy that's pretty calm, pretty cool, even-mannered, and he clearly doesn't have an issue responding to some adversity.
So you like both even-mannered or the exact opposite?
I'm open to a lot of different draft profiles.
No, I kind of agree with you on that.
everybody's a little bit of a different cat, right? Everybody kind of responds and channels their energy differently. And Kade, I think, is a little more stoic than somebody like Liam Doyle, but it works for him.
So LSU guy.
Hey, Brock, sack fumble.
Right. Which means he's been in a lot of big spots. I actually think that's really good analysis, Lyle. One of the major challenges ahead of everybody who's drafted on Sunday is how they will deal with failure as they come up through this game, whether it's in advanced minor league levels or eventually getting to the professional level. It's probably a bigger issue for hitters than it is for pitchers, but I think that's right. He's going to get hit at some point. Somebody's going to knock him around in major leagues, no matter how good he is.
Mm-hmm.
How do you respond to that? How do you handle it? What happens next? I think that's some pretty good analysis, Brock.
You want a little further? Can I give you a little this is my blink scouting here, Salk.
Yeah.
I'm a blink scouter.
Sure.
Dude, in 2019, 2020, and 2021 in high school at St. Paul's down there in Louisiana, Covington, Louisiana, he had a 0.22 ERA and 220 strikeouts. And then he blew out his elbow in high school. So he missed his entire senior year with Tommy John. He missed his entire freshman year at LSU recovering from Tommy John. So you're talking about a kid, 21, 22, that's pitched 2 years, really, of competitive collegiate kind of ball. I'm sure, has he done all the circuits with that as well, Lyle? Did he do summer or fall ball or whatever these guys do? But you're talking about overcoming adversity. How about his senior year of high school? Didn't even play his freshman year of college, coming off of Tommy John surgery at 19 years old? Now, does that concern you at all, Lyle?
A little bit. And when you're a prospect that's had Tommy John, there's always going to be some concern about the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is why there's no slam dunk #1 pick in this draft. Could it end up being Kade Anderson and he doesn't even fall to the Mariners at 3? Yeah, possible. But again, there is concern, and you always have to just take the risk of injuries into account, especially when you've had the Tommy John ones. And the fact that he's only really had one full year of this big workload, because the other year he threw in college, it was less than 40 innings.
That's right.
But the other part of this is he proved so much this year, and he proved to be so good this year that I think people are really buying on what the floor can be with some ceiling to be a top end starter.
All right, I listened to all. Remind us all, that's Lyle draft profile. #1. Kade Anderson with a K, by the way. Kade with a K. Now, who were the 5 again? Remind us of the 5 guys that you profiled this week, because I'm pretty sure I know what I want the Mariners to do after listening to all this. So give me the 5 guys that you profiled this week.
I will. Let me just quickly say one more thing, just so people have an idea. Kade's also supposed to move very fast through the minors, and he may not need a lot of time. So if you're the Mariners and you end up trading a starter at some point, you might have a quick replacement. Like Anderson doesn't, at least I don't think, need a lot of time in the minors. So anyway, we went Ivar Arquette on Monday, shortstop from Oregon State.
Yep.
I think that's a little bit of a safe pick, and that may be what the Mariners do, but there's some ceiling there. I talked about Jamie Arnold on Tuesday, left-hander out of Florida State. We talked about Ethan Holiday on Wednesday. We did Seth Hernandez yesterday and Kade Anderson to round it out today.
Yeah. And it's funny, Salk, because you say you know what you want.
Yep.
Scott Hunter, the head of scouting there for the Mariners, and Daniel Kramer's article that came out this morning said, quote, it's going to be, I don't want to say a heated battle in our room, but I don't think we're going to have, when we walk out of there, a full consensus or quote, this is our guy.
Yeah. After judging this on nothing other than Lyle's draft profiles, no other research whatsoever, nothing.
Yeah.
Give me Ethan Holiday.
Yeah.
After listening to all 5 of your draft profiles and everything else that you mentioned this week, give me Ethan Holiday. Highest upside, plays the ability to hit for power. It might go bust, but so what? You lucked into the #3 overall pick. Unless there is an element of, hey, they're about to trade Bryce Miller or something like that, and you feel like you need to replenish the pitching staff immediately, in which case I get it. A Kade Anderson would make sense, but I'm sorry. The Seth Hernandez, spare me on a high school righty. No thanks. Jamie Arnold, maybe, whatever. Arquette seemed like a good pick as well. But just based on everything you said, with the boomer bust potential of Ethan Holiday, give me the younger brother and let's see what happens.
You know, it's funny, Salk. I think I land exactly there as well. I thought it would be Kade, and Kade would be incredible. By all accounts, he's not going to be there at #3. And if he's not, then I think I'm with you, man. Ethan Holiday is.
That's the one.
Ooh,
That's the chance. I mean, it's a chance to get a potential stud, and if it doesn't work, okay. So what? You lucked into this pick. Okay, that was a weird deal. I would go for the highest upside possible. And to me, and in a position, and on the hitting side, where it's so hard to find those guys, as we know, in free agency where they're expensive, or in the trade market, nobody's giving them up. Yeah. Give me Ethan Holiday, the number 3 pick.
I love it. I would be all on board for that. The one thing I will say is as much uncertainty as there's going to be in this draft and who goes where all throughout the top 10, the one thing that seems to be a little bit consensus is just from me personally talking to a couple of evaluators and a couple media people who are plugged in, if Kade falls to 3, I'd be surprised if the Mariners don't make him.
But it also doesn't sound like he's likely to do that. So, all right. Great job, Lyle. Awesome work all week long. And those profiles are up at seattlesports.com. We'll come back with everything you need to know. And then open phone lines at 9:30. 866-979-3776. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710 and 97.3 HD2.
Tuesday, the All-Star Fantastic Four.
Holy smokes!
Andres, Brian, Julio, and Cal.
Number 34 for the big dumper.
Hear the Mariners All-Stars in the 2025 All-Star Game. Tuesday afternoon at 5. Live from Truist Park in Atlanta. Only on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, guys, we are getting ever closer to August 8th. That is when the hotel opens up at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. But you can book now at snocasino.com. Why not grab a weekend night at the hotel? You'll see those beautiful, breathtaking views of the Cascades in the Snoqualmie Valley. You can play at the expanded non-smoking gaming floor. You can check out the destination spa, big new entertainment space, and new restaurants as well. It's going to be awesome. It all starts on August 8th. Go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Toyota Renton and Toyota of Kirkland have that new car you've been looking for. With the power of choice, drive the sleek hybrid Camry leasing as low as $299 a month, the dependable Corolla, or the electric Prius leasing at just $309 a month. If you're headed to the ballpark or cruising I-5 from the north or the south, visit Toyota of Renton or Kirkland or shop online at toyotaofrenton.com and toyotaofkirkland.com. Offers valid through August 4th, 2025. Excludes taxes, license, and negotiable $200 dealer documentation fee. See dealership for details.
Tired of sitting on your suitcase? 2 words. Packing cubes. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway, an alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. Now open and free through summer.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Okay, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Being the new kid in high school is hard. I didn't know if I would be accepted or if I'd fit in, because being known is key to who we are. Hi, I'm Peyton Seal. When I first came to King Schools, I knew something was different. My teachers cared about me. I have community. I'm learning who God called me to be.
Sign up for a tour today, and if you enroll, just mention this ad and pay no application fee. Visit joinkings.org for more info. That's joinkings.org, building resilient disciples of Christ through Christian education for 75 years.
The perfect night out this summer is under the stars at the drive-in movies. Enjoy classic films, cool cars, and unforgettable memories, all from the comfort of your own ride at the LeMay America's Car Museum Movie Nights. Bring the kids, pack snacks, and tune in for fun. The next showing is Transformers on July 27th. LeMay Drive-In Movies, where the big screen meets the open road. Space is limited, so reserve now at americascarmuseum.org.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Ugly one last night at Yankee Stadium. Be nice for the Mariners to get out of there. It's almost the exact opposite. Remember last year they were about to lose a game in Yankee Stadium, and then they came back against, what's his name, Clay Holmes. Found a way to claw their way back into that one and ended up winning that game last year. This year went the opposite. I don't know what that means. I know there's a lot of very angry people today, and I understand why you get swept away and destroyed in the Bronx, and now you got to go to Detroit. Not exactly an easy spot with Tariq Skubal tonight, but it was a tough one last night for sure, especially because Brian Wu was cruising. 7 no-hit innings, and then it just gets away from him in the 8th. They give up the tying single in the 9th.
The 3-2 on the way, swinging a line drive in the right field for a base hit. Grisham will score. Bellinger rounding third, he will score.
Yeah, you hear the crowd going crazy and the pressure that just can envelop you in that building.
Yep, and Polanco had a nice 3-run blast, and guys at the bottom of your lineup did their thing, Sulky. But, you go to that place and you need your difference makers to be difference makers. And over the course of the series, they were not. Cal had a home run in the opener when they were down 10-0, and that was great. Had a nice 11-pitch at bat yesterday, but did not find another hit. Julio had, 2 hits, kind of 2 doubles, sprayed 1 for 2 for 13, 0 for 5 yesterday, and on base now that sits at 301. We talked yesterday about maybe is it time to move him in the lineup. I think it is. I think it's just time to move him down to 5 or 6 in the lineup, take a little bit of the pressure off of him, and reward those guys whose data points are a whole lot better than his.
And even more than that for me, just put more runners on base in front of Cal. He is so hot and so great. I got to put as many runners in front of Cal as possible. And so if I got to move my on-base percentage guys up in front of him, that's what I got to do. Red Sox win. Astros didn't play. So 7-game lead in the West. Mariners now 1 game out in the wild card.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Draft is on Sunday, coming off of and getting sort of the start of the whole All-Star week. We'll see Cal in the Derby. We'll see Brian Wu and Cal and Munoz and Julio during the game next week. And that's what, Tuesday night, I believe, is the actual All-Star game. But the draft comes first, and with the number 3 overall pick, we've gotten the sense from Lyle of what's available. Yeah, I would go, for me, just based on what we've now heard, I'd go boom or bust. Give me Ethan Holiday and give me a kid that could hit 30, 40 home runs. That sounds right to me.
I'd be all for it. But let me just say, in the last couple hours, MLB.com and ESPN have released their final mock drafts. Both of them have the Mariners taken Seth Hernandez. I'm just saying.
Is Ethan Holiday available?
They have Holiday going 4? Yeah, to the Rockies. I'm telling you, I'm going to come on this show fired up if Seth's the pick.
Well, it's a Baskin-Robbins of flavors. There's just no question about it. I think your profiles all week, Lyle, did an awesome job kind of showcasing that. Right? There is no consensus. Talking to folks in baseball, they all say the same thing too. And Scott Hunter said it this week. There is going to be probably no consent. You're not going to get to the point where I think you got in that Seahawks war room in late April, Salk, where it's like Gray Zabel's our guy. Right, it's going to be Booker or Gray Zabel. One's a power guy, one's a little more of an athlete guy, but these are our 2 guys. And I think that there was very strong feeling and consensus. That's not going to be the case. Even Sunday, not going to be the case, depending on what happens with 1-2. This is just a unique draft in that kind of way.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
ESPN going through their tight end rankings. No Seahawks, nowhere close. Not in the top 10, not in the top 22 when you include the honorable mentions and those receiving votes. It's why they went out and drafted a tight end, right? Pretty high in the second round. Elijah Arroyo is supposed to be the guy to eventually come in, fill that spot. Todd McShay had said this about him.
Elijah Arroyo. They had to be like doing somersaults. Yeah. And Ferguson goes before Arroyo. Yeah. If Arroyo can stay healthy, and I get it that it's a bigger if than with other prospects because he had the injury, but it was one injury that lingered. And this past year, he was pretty damn good in the Senior Bowl. He was awesome.
So they were doing backflips when that athleticism was available there at 60. And that's what jumps out, Salk, as you look at this list. There's a few guys that are good blockers out of the top 22, but most of them are difference makers in the passing game. Right, Brock Bowers at the top of that list, and Kittle, and obviously McBride in Arizona setting franchise records in single-season receptions, and that's a lot more of what Arroyo should be added to this mix in the tight end room.
All right, there you go. That is everything you need to know, quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. I want to make sure we get out on time here so that we can leave you guys your full 25 minutes to talk about whatever is on your mind. 866-979-3776. It is a morning where a lot of folks wake up frustrated, completely understandably. How serious was the series in New York? How serious was that game last night? Why did it happen? You know, what is it about this team? What was it about last night? We're happy to kind of go through any of that with you. If you want to talk about all of these rankings and national opinions that are very low on the Seahawks and on their talent level, certainly that's a conversation, or anything else that is on your mind. 866-979-3776. I'll get out of the way. Let you guys talk.
I won't.
No? Well, I meant now. I'll get out of the way. I'll interrupt you once you call later. But now I'll get out of the way and let you call in. 866-979-3776. Your call's next on Brock and Salk.
Jordan Schusterman every Wednesday morning at 11 with Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports.
How do you foresee this rotation shaping out before the All-Star break?
I certainly don't think that's the last we will see of Emerson Hancock this season. I will be interested to see if Logan Evans can make a push to replace him at some point, how they kind of go back and forth between both of those guys. I think from a workload standpoint, I have to imagine they want to be a little bit more careful with Evans.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Do you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Stacey Rost here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman today at WOISeattle.org. That's WOISeattle.org.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They're here 24/7. 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Hi, this is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. Big Trees has certified arborists and site experts who help you select the right trees for the right location on your property. When Big Trees installs a tree, we offer a 1-year warranty and 1 free aftercare visit from a board-certified master arborist. To learn more about our process, visit BigTreeSupply.com.
from the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, so our phone lines aren't working. There seems to be a problem with our phone lines at the moment. I swear to you, I could take a picture.
They're checking the server.
It says that all the lines are blocked, so nobody can get through.
I'm trying to call in.
And we can't fix it from here. Now, no truth to the rumor that there was a member of the Mariners who sabotaged this so that we wouldn't do 25 minutes of open phone lines following that night last night, which, again, is just timing. We do this every Friday at 9:30, but I promise you there's not, they're broken at the moment. We've got Vern, the engineer downstairs, doing his best, dealing with the server. Maura and Lyle both did everything they could do to reboot, power cycle the system. But we're having problems right now with, the VX. And so without the VX, we can't take phone calls, Brock.
So we're just locked out.
We're locked out. Locked out of heaven.
You know, let's go to the 206. Let's go out to Michael. Michael up in Green Lake. Michael up in Green Lake. You seem to be the lone figure in all of Seattle that did not feel like that game was in the bag. Even when Polanco hit the 3-run bomb to go up 5-0.
I'm sorry.
Even when
everybody gives me grief. Everybody gives me. It's not my fault. I happen to have been born in Boston. I don't know what to tell you. And I did spend a large portion of my youth watching Red Sox and Yankee games. And until 2004, they all ended like that.
Yeah.
It just
honestly, like in the 80s and 90s,
Yes.
right? Because the Red Sox were cursed.
Into the 2000s.
They were just cursed.
Yeah.
If something was going to go wrong, it was going to go wrong for the Boston Red Sox, and then went that way.
Were you watching Game 7 in 2003?
Remind me.
Yeah, that would be the leaving Pedro Martinez in, and then eventually Aaron Boone hits the home run. And I've seen too many of those. The only thing that would have been different when I was a kid in watching that game is that the runner would have actually been out, but without replay, the Yankee Stadium umpire would have called him safe, and then you would have had to live with the fact that he was clearly out. But, it's Yankee Stadium, so they get the call.
No, I mean, once you gave up a couple hits, and once they scored a couple runs there in the 8th inning, and obviously the Stanton home run, I mean, once that happened, come on now. I think your energy should have changed. You could hear it in the building. Right, you could get that sense of just watching and listening to the game.
Hold on, Brock. Hold on 1 second. The lines are working.
What?
We've rebooted the server for whoever tried to sabotage our open phone lines today. Vern is too good for you. He's opened up the line. So if you do want to call in today, 866-979-3776. We still have a good 20-plus minutes for you. 866-979-3776. I'm sure there's a decent rant or two in there, but Moore and Lyle will furiously work to answer the phones here for the next few minutes. And then once we got people on hold, I'll start taking calls. But 866-979-3776. I apologize for our technical issues, but they have been solved, and we're ready to take your calls. Sorry, Brock, continue.
No, I mean, once Stanton hits that home run, and once it's 5-3, and once, with that lineup, and all of a sudden they get some people on, and now they're seeing Mooney's pitches, and he's tipping pitches. It's just like, oh, no. Just find a way. Base loaded 2 outs, just find a way. 3-2 count, just find a way. Just pop it up. Just come on. Just roll it over. Let's get one win out of New York. Let's get the heck out of Dodge.
But you've put yourself in a situation where you're facing Aaron Judge with the bases loaded.
Ultimately in the 10th, yes. Ultimately in the 10th.
But yeah, you can't let that happen. And I said it earlier, I'll say it again. I think there's a couple of mistakes last night in addition to the execution, because the execution is what it is. But I don't know why you don't have Matt Brash ready to go as soon as Brian Wu gives up a hit. And I don't know how you end up in a situation where you're pitching to Aaron Judge with the bases loaded. Both those things feel like mistakes to me. 866-979-3776. We'll start with Brian, who's in Portland this morning. Good morning to you, Brian.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Well, better now.
Is it, Brian? Is it a good morning?
Right. You said the server was down. The server just went down on my work computer. So I said, let me call and see if I can jump in first in line.
All right. Nice work.
Right. So me and my little brother, diehard Mariners fans, our whole life. He texts me only when we're losing and only to cry that the sky is falling And dude, it's like we're not even to the All-Star break.
You're related to
Two games
Brock?
out of the wild card. Yeah, and he sounds like Brock, right? And I just so you touched on it earlier with Girardi, and I just need someone to put out in the universe we got 2.5 months left. So much can happen. Julio can heat up. We can make a trade. The ship is not sunk. I don't know what happened last night. I followed your Larry Salk rule. I went and barbecued and had dinner with my
Good move.
my new daughter, right? Because we were up 5-0, and then turns out we lost.
So you feel good today. You didn't have to watch the whole thing. This is the great advantage to the Larry Salk rule, Brock, is that you're not even mad today. You're like, all right, they lost, whatever. Happens. Sometimes you lose.
I was quasi Larry. I mean, we left. It was 5-1, 5-3. I get in the car. I'm not going to look at the phone. Ultimately, I'll let my friends and family and other people text me if this goes off the rails, and ultimately it did. And
Did they?
went off the rails. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You hear from Steve and everybody else who likes to text you when they're angry.
And I can't believe this, and I just threw up in my mouth.
Yeah.
And got some of those.
I guess to me, it's just that I wasn't surprised by it. That otherwise, I'd probably be right there with you. And if this had happened in another ballpark, maybe I would be just as angry today. It's honestly that I expected it to happen. As I'm watching that game, I expected it to happen all the way until it did. And I'll tell you, if you could get my dad on the phone right now, he would tell you the same thing. He would tell you the same thing. He'd be like, yeah, of course that's what happened. If you could raise my grandfather from the dead, he'd be like, yeah, of course that's what happened. What, are you kidding? Obviously, that's what happened. Gil Salk would be on Gil. Yeah, I called him Papa. Gil would be right here being like, yeah, why are you upset? You knew that was going to happen.
Settle down.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Rich, who's in Auburn. Rich, good morning.
Oh, good morning, guys. Good morning. So first of all, I want to thank you guys here for rubbing salt in the wound this morning and making me like Joe Girardi, because that was terrible.
I know.
I used to hate that guy's face.
Same.
Second of all, screw that last guy, okay? The sky is falling. It's been falling for 2 decades, okay? I haven't seen my dang Mariners team win a single division title, let alone make a World Series, okay? So it is falling. It's been falling for a long time. Why should I even be a Mariners fan at this point anymore? It's like you said to G. Scott earlier, okay? Like going to the club and trying to pick up a woman. What's different about the Mariners? Everything about the way they operate as a franchise is ugly. They've never been to a World Series, which means they cannot dance. They refuse to dance. Why do they deserve fans?
I guess.
Why are we doing?
But you know why, Rich. The same reason that you called in to try to win tickets yesterday, because A, it's your team.
Well, hey.
Because A, it's your team, and B, you know that the end, when it finally happens, will be worth all of the suffering and will be that good. There'll be nothing as good as when the suffering ends. Trust me.
Let's touch on it being my team really quick. I could have been a Red Sox fan. My family's from Rhode Island, okay?
Could have been. You decided not to be.
Last night. I called my Nana last night, okay? I didn't yell at her. You don't yell at Nana. You talk to her loudly. And I was like, why'd you let my dad move to a state with an awful franchise? And she said, Richard, take an aspirin. I'm tired of taking aspirin, guys. I just want to watch a good baseball team. I just want to watch a good baseball team.
Well,
okay,
you know
anyway.
what? I'm going to add one other thing too, Rich. You know why? Because just when you try to quit them, they're going to bring you right back.
Of course.
Because they also got a bunch of great dudes. Cal Raleigh's a great dude. Logan Gilbert's a great dude. They have some great human beings. Brian Woo's story is a great story. Like, they got people and players that you do love. You do love. And you know that all of them want it. They want it. They want this. And certainly their leadership and their star players want it to happen for you, Rich, down there in Auburn, as much as they want to happen for their clubhouse and themselves. They do. They do. And that's why, just as frustrated as you may be,
also because one game does not equal decades of problems. 866-979-3776. Let's try Bob in Spokane. What's up, Bob?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great.
You know how it's going, Bobby.
Great. I just want to let you know, Mike, I agree with you. I grew up back east. I went to a lot of Yankee games. I'm very familiar with that environment, that culture. And I was checking the game status on my phone. last night and every couple of innings, and I can see this just going downhill. So, yeah, I agree with you, and I just wanted to say that.
All right, well, thank you. There's nothing worse than a five-run lead in Yankee Stadium. Like, you could just feel the pressure of it. Like, anything that's supposed to happen there probably won't. And honestly, at this point with Fenway, there's a similarity as well. And some of that is just because of the way those ballparks are built. It's just not that hard to hit a home run to right field there. And that gets
Cal nearly did.
And that gets in the head of the pitchers, and they know it, and they get nervous, and they feel the crowd, and they feel the hit. Like, it's a really frustrating situation. I'm not trying to minimize it. I'm not trying to tell anybody not to be frustrated today. You should be. It's an infuriating series to lose there. But I was not surprised when it went down that way because I've been watching it happen my entire life.
Even though 1977 was the last time it happened?
Well, that specific thing happened. But there's always something. There's always some new horror to take place at that ballpark in that city. 866-979-3776. By the way, it doesn't have to just be about last night. We're 3 weeks away, less than 3 weeks away from the trade deadline. A lot of those conversations, I think, relevant today as well.
2 days from the
Let me go to Skylar in Bellingham. Good morning, Skylar.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Skylar, you got to turn down your radio. Skylar. I'm going to put you on hold. You got to turn down your radio because that's not going to work. Let me try Wydell in Spokane.
Nice.
Yeah, guys. This is a theoretical question. And it may be pertaining to the Mariners if we have another year that we're just kind of good and not getting over the hump. Would you rather be great, say, 2 to 3 years where you have this window where you're going into the World Series or, say, the Seahawks, the Super Bowl, winning championships, and then you're bad, like at the very bottom for 5 to 7 years? Or would you rather just be kind of good for 10 years? Say you're like the Steelers here. You're getting to the playoffs almost every year, but you're just not getting anywhere. What do you think's more frustrating?
Well, you could call fans in Miami and baseball fans in Kansas City and ask them that, right? I mean, that's what those two organizations have done. They've occasionally been great, and other than that, been horrendous, right?
Right.
And I think, Wydell, the data and stats community would tell you, and this is a trend from, you heard Eric DaCosta with the Ravens say this, the GM. We've certainly heard it from John Schneider. You've heard it from Jerry DiPoto. You've heard it from those in the kind of data world and the stats world, not even just nerds, just the data world that tells you, man, you want to keep giving yourself as much volume and as many shots as you can.
Because this game there is a lot of luck in this game, even though you don't want to hear that in the moment, even though that's a frustrating excuse and all that. There's a lot of variance in this game. That's why small sample size are ridiculed, because it is an up and down game. But all of that being said, Brock, and good point you make there. I will come back and say this about the Mariners. They're inconsistent. Like, it's really hard for me to make it, and that's another reason I'm not sitting here saying this team is done today, but it's also why last week when they were beaten up on the Royals and Pirates, I wasn't doing cartwheels either. They're a really inconsistent baseball team. There are days they look like they're as good as anyone in the league, and there are days they look as bad as anyone in the league. In fact, there have been weeks and almost months where they have shown both of those two attributes. They're a very inconsistent baseball team. And, that's why they've sort of hovered just above 500 this year.
If we were not 29, because the White Sox and the Rockies, and there have been just consistent direct. But if we were in 20 other markets, aren't we saying the same thing?
I think you probably are.
I mean, the Red Sox just are in the midst of a 7-game winning streak. You heard Joe Girardi say when the Yankees were in the midst of their 6-game losing streak, they're done. Fire Aaron Boone. They're terrible. This isn't good enough. I mean, can't we? If we were in 20 other markets, don't you think we would say a lot of
course you would, but it's been very true of this team, and I'm not in 20 other markets, and I'm in this one. This team is inconsistent. Right? I mean, like, they really have a lot of boom and bust potential, and we've seen both sides of that at various points this season. It's why I have sort of beat the drum on the trade deadline, because I don't think they got enough done in the offseason. So this is your next chance to do it. Are you a much better team?
So then you better find, and again, I think this is why I land on homeboy from
Josh Naylor.
Then you better find, if you're going to add to inconsistency, you better find what? Consistency. Is Ryan O'Hearn been a consistent guy in his career? No, he has not. Is Eugenio been a consistent guy over the course of his career? No, he has not. Has Josh Naylor been a consistent guy over the course of his career? Yes, he has.
Yeah, and Alex Bregman as well. Obviously, that looks like it's going by the wayside now that the Red Sox are ahead of you in the wild card chase. But, yeah, 866-979-3776. Let me try Manny and Maui. What's up, Manny?
What?
Aloha, brother.
We get you live?
How we doing, boys?
We're good. I'm going to come see you in October when I come to Maui, man. I got to find you and hang for a little bit.
You going to say Feliz Navidad
Let's
then?
do it. I'm ready.
All right, bring it. What do you got?
All right, check it out, boys. So I was listening to the show last weekend when Lefko was filling in, and he was talking about, how great Cal Raleigh is doing, and, and it just brought back the interview you guys did with Jerry DiPoto a couple years ago. And I'm just like, you know what? I think Jerry was right. And I hate to say it, but he said you could have prime Babe Ruth and it still wouldn't help. Cal Raleigh is playing out of his mind right now. You could say he's having a prime Babe Ruth season, and we blew a 5-game lead in the division. Now we're 7.5 games back. That's a 12-game swing, And as much as I hate to say, DiPoto was probably right. I mean, with Cal playing the way he's playing, I mean, come on, guys. He's having an unbelievable season, and we're wasting it with.
Yeah, I mean, some of that is true. Look, some of that is true. They also just scored, 5 plus 6 plus 3, right? So 14 runs in 3 games in Yankee Stadium. They didn't lose this series because they couldn't hit. That's not why they lost this series. I'm not disagreeing with you necessarily, man, and I get the irritation today, but they just scored 14 runs in 3 games. Like some of them were tack on, some of them were sort of irrelevant late runs, but they scored 14 runs in 3 games. They scored runs. Lineup did its job technically this weekend or this week in Yankee Stadium, didn't they? They scored runs. That's almost 5 runs a game.
Mm-hmm.
That should win you a lot of games with your pitching staff. Logan Evans got destroyed. Logan Gilbert looked terrible after the rain delay. And unfortunately, yesterday, your best relievers all gave it up at once. That's frustrating. It's upsetting. It's incredibly aggravating. But I don't know that it's indicative of this team and the long-term problems they've had. These were different problems. And that, to me, is where that inconsistency comes in. 866-979-3776. Let me try Paul and Renton. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, fellas. Mike, you were talking about the inconsistency that the Mariners have had this year, but one dude that has been consistent from beginning to end has been Brian Wu, which is why he got the All-Star nod. I'd like to see him be the All-Star starter. This guy's been nails. He showed it last night on probably one of the bigger stages you can, and you've really made it when Yankee fans are like asking to trade for Brian Wu after seeing him pitch just once. So I think Brian Wu, obviously, he deserves as much credit as anybody for this team, especially after last night. But it'd be awesome to see him start that game.
I don't think he's gonna, but I appreciate the thought. That would be pretty cool if it were to happen. Hey, let me read you this real quick, and then we'll see if we can take another call or two. Shannon posting this just a few minutes ago, and Shannon's going to come in next week, and I'll spend some time with her. The Mariners have announced Julio Rodriguez will not be able to participate this year in the All-Star game. He will take a break. Quote, he will take a break to recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half. Rest and prepare, okay. Recuperate. I don't know what that means. If you mean recuperate in terms of resting, okay, that's normal. Is Julio fighting something? I mean, one thing we do know about history of athletes is when guys are significantly below their expectations, many times they're dealing with something that we don't know about. Could that be the case for Julio? I'm not saying it is. I don't want to make an excuse for him. But that word recuperate jumps out to me a little bit.
What would that be?
I don't know.
He's been able to run, been able to throw, been able to take BP every day.
That ball hit him off the leg last night in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be that. I mean, like, obviously that would just have happened. I don't know. Maybe just getting him off his feet, Maybe he's saying, hey, I don't feel like an all-star. I'm embarrassed to go. I don't know. But it makes me at least wonder if he's dealing with something that just hasn't been quite right. Doesn't keep him out of games. Doesn't keep him from practice or anything like that. But just a thought is Julio is not going to go to the All-Star game.
Best news for the Mariners.
For sure.
That's like great news. Like, okay, individually, now he still gets voted to the All-Star, so I guess he can still be considered a 3-time All-Star. But quite honestly, that is for the Mariners. They need to get him right.
Yeah.
And for him to travel to Atlanta, to be in that heat, humidity, to do all of that stuff for as much maybe fun as it would be to be around his peers and do all of that, I kind of celebrate that, as long as it's not some back or some significant.
And maybe it is. I mean, he's had back issues on and off over the course of his short career. So who knows? I'm sure we'll find out more eventually. Let me go to Skylar in Bellingham. Good morning, Skylar.
Hey, guys.
So,
how's your day been?
It's been okay. Come on, man. We just got like 3 minutes left. What's on your mind?
So I was listening to the ESPN radio the other day, and they brought up if you have like unlimited money, something like that. I was just wondering what you guys would do, and then I'll tell you what I would do if I had unlimited money.
Why don't you just tell me what you would do?
Honestly, I would buy the Mariners right now. I would trade for Naylor. I would trade for Gino, and we're making it to the World Series.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if that gets them all the way to the World Series, but it does change this lineup. It does make them deeper. It does make them a lot more consistent.
It makes them feel like, and you're going to see it in Detroit this weekend. You just felt it there in New York. You would feel it if you played the Dodgers. You would feel it if you played these. I'm sure we'll feel it when we play Houston and Milwaukee. And it makes a lineup feel like it pressurizes you the entire time.
Yep.
That,
No
when
breaks.
Wells comes up at 7 or 8, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. This guy with a swing of his bat can make a difference. And you just don't ever get to step off the gas.
All right,
And
let's see if we can
lineup right
grab
now just
one
doesn't
or
feel
two
that way.
more. Vernon's in Tacoma. What's up, Vernon?
Hey, morning, guys. So I think inconsistency is the key word with the Mariners. They were inconsistent last year. They've been inconsistent this year. Last series against the Pirates, the pitching was amazing, but then the offense scores like 4 runs in 3 games. This series with the Yankees, the offense does their job, but the pitching, the bullpens, and the starters falls apart. I just think that it's poor roster construction. I think Jerry and Justin didn't do a great enough job of putting a team together that could really compete and be consistent week in and week out. I also don't think that they obviously didn't do enough in the offseason, and they didn't put in contingencies to help protect against injuries in this bullpen, in this starting rotation. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
I don't know if I can agree on the starting rotation thing. I mean, Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock, come on, and been pretty good. I don't know if I could quite go there with you, but okay.
Contingencies. And maybe the next, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, they'll be able to build in some of those further contingencies. And if they do, Salk want to win a World Series, I think this is fair enough to say you're going to have to add. I mean, you're just going to have to find a way. And what's the market going to look like? And is it overpaid? But legitimately, there's going to have to be 2 or 3 new Mariners come August 1st on this roster.
Well, there's going to be one new member of the organization, number 3 pick on Sunday. When we come back in on Monday, we'll have an opportunity to talk about that. We'll figure out how things went in Detroit.
And way to go, Vern, by the way. Can we give a shout-out to Vern
What up, Vern?
resetting the server?
Very well done.
Thank you, Vern. Way to go.
We'll have Johnny Bench on Monday. Jim Abbott may join me next week. Maybe some Seahawk conversation with Hawk Blogger and Shannon coming in for a roundtable. See if you can go do some damage against Scooble and the Tigers starting tonight. Brock, enjoy your little trip. I'll see you on Wednesday. Maura, Lyle. Lyle's going to the All-Star game. Maura's got a cool trip coming up. So everybody go have fun, and I'll hold down the fort.
Thank you.
To start the week next week, since I was off most of last week. And, stick around for Bump and Stacy coming up next. Until then, the hay.
In this week. In the bars.
See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper! Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2
Cal is on a historic pace. We haven't really seen anything like this, right? You have to look around the rest of that team and go, okay, who's going to carry some of this offensive load? Do you feel like it could be Randy?
It could be. It should be. You need guys like Randy to step up. Can we expect him to have 2 bombs a night? No, let's be real. And I think most of you are going to be real. 4 RBIs last night, the most since April 9th against Houston, so that's good.
Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us.
We get notifications every time we get a review. And I said, how do you not let it eat you up? Sometimes I feel so responsible. And his answer was, I just look at it as an opportunity. We need that feedback to learn and to do better. I'm grateful for the feedback.
Big part of sales is the relationship aspect. People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and just the experience is better on both sides.
It's not about closing deals. It's about opening relationships, helping people make the right choice. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Seattle Children's is leading the fight against pediatric cancer with groundbreaking research in immunotherapy. It reprograms a child's own T cells to hunt down and destroy cancer. It's hope, powered by science. But here's the truth. Pediatric cancer research is drastically underfunded. That's why Safeway is stepping up, and you can too. G. Scott here asking you to say yes to donating to ImmunoHeroes next time you're at Safeway checkout. Together, we can help fight cancer for all kid kind.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
This summer, the perfect night out is under the stars at LeMay, America's Car Museum drive-in movies. Enjoy classic films and make memories. Catch the Transformers on July 27th. Space is limited. Reserve now at americascarmuseum.org.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Collectors, Front Row Car Show is returning to Tacoma. Join us at the Greater Tacoma Convention Center on July 12th and 13th. Baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards. Plus collectibles such as Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars, and comic books. Beckett, CGC, and JSA will be there. So bring your cards, comics, and autographs to sell, trade, or get them graded. More than 400 tables. Thousands of dollars in free prizes. Don't miss it. Front Row Card Show. Greater Tacoma Convention Center. Saturday and Sunday, July 12th and 13th, 11 to 5. For more info, go to frontrowcardshow.com. That's frontrowcardshow.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st,
New Comcast Business customers can find out how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Early termination fee applies.
The countdown is on.
12 days until Seahawks training camp.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. 710 KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news earlier this morning, the Mariners and Julio Rodriguez have announced the center fielder will not be participating in this year's All-Star game. From a statement, quote, he will take the break to recuperate, rest, and prepare for the second half. The Mariners open a series against the Tigers today at 4:10 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 3 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Oh, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to